How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Florida, Utah, Nebraska, Minnesota. Let's go. Let's go. All right, y'all hear me? Okay. All right, let's get started. Let's do it. How y'all doing? Yeah, good morning. It's Uncle Lou here. Yep, that's right. It is me. Uncle Lou live on LouTube for you. Couple of games we're going to be watching tonight. Florida and Utah, Nebraska and Minnesota. Both scheduled to start around 8 o'clock. They come on TV at 8, so kickoff should be a few minutes after 8 o'clock on both of those games. Florida, Utah, SEC versus Pac-12, Big Ten and Nebraska and Minnesota, a Big Ten conference matchup. Kick things off. Matt Rule, new head coach at Nebraska. PJ Fleck still rowing the boat for the Gophers up there in Minnesota. First, this is embarrassing, but this is the first non-conference road game outside the state of Florida for the Florida Gators in over 30 years. So we'll see how they do. Florida unranked in both the preseason polls. Utah ranked 15-ish. In most polls that are out, these two teams kicked it off last year in Gainesville. Florida won a close one at home in Gainesville. The big news, of course, over the last couple of days, Cam Rising, Utah's quarterback, will not be playing today. Suffered a torn ACL in the Rose Bowl at the end of last season. And I guess not fully prepared to come back yet. Not sure if how unhealthy or healthy he is, how close to 100% he is, I don't know. Are they holding him out for conference play? I don't know, but he's not playing. So for that reason, I did not bet on the Florida-Utah game, although I did pick Utah to win and cover. For Minnesota and Nebraska, I really like Nebraska in that one. They're a 7-point underdog in that one, and I like Nebraska. I actually like Nebraska to win outright, but I did bet that one, Nebraska and the points. I took Nebraska and the points. How's everybody doing? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Week 1 live stream. I'm going to be a busy bee the next 5 days. I've got the streaming schedule scrolling across the bottom of the screen. It'll stay there for the majority of tonight's stream. But I'm going to be streaming the primetime games tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, and Monday night. On Saturday, I'll be streaming the noon games over on my Patreon page. A lot of you are members over on the Patreon page. You know how that works. Saturday around 11:45 in the morning, I'll post a link on my Patreon page. Just go over there, click that link. It will take you to Saturday's game stream at noon. If I stream a second time slot on Saturday, it'll be the primetime games. And that'll be on YouTube. But I'm not 100% sure I'll do that second time slot on Saturday night. It's just going to depend how I feel. This is a lot of live streaming over the next 5 days. But for sure, I'll be on YouTube tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, and Monday night for primetime games. And on Patreon Saturday at noon. Saturday at noon is TCU, Colorado, Virginia, and Tennessee. Handful of other games on at noon too. But that'll be the Patreon stream for this week, Saturday at noon. If you want to get signed up on the Patreon page and hang out with us on the Patreon streams, the link to that page is in the description of the video. We have a lot of fun over on the Patreon page during the season. All right, let's take roll and see who's here. Who's hanging out ready to watch some football on a Thursday night, Week 1, 2023 season getting underway. Jerome, Paxton, Sauce Hoss, MC Carey or Mick Carey, I don't know. Shadowlack. All right, whoa. I got to slow this down. Falcons fan, Robert, TR, JR. I think that was the best one I ever did, Jay. Good to see you in here. Crowbar Jack. Which wrestling federation are you with, sir? You have to be a professional wrestler. Crowbar Jack. Good morning. Matt Dummett, Jerome, Jaden Crunkleton. Well, y'all are something serious. BA is here. Gil Lawson, JJ. Claude, go crazy. You gonna go crazy, Claude? I might go crazy a time or two tonight. If this is your first Uncle Lou game stream, you're in for a treat. I'm not exactly what you would call a calm or rational individual when I watch college football. I tend to get a little carried away. Breaking Parallels, Brandon Tisdale. K-Starg wants to know what it do. I don't know why people keep asking that. You know what it do. It do what it do. So, maybe that was a rhetorical question. Not sure. Steve Jones, Greg Ched, Stephen Cafe. Good to see you back, sir. CJ, Dylan Mullins, Junkyard Dog. What's up, buddy? I'll see Junkyard Dog over on the Patreon stream on Saturday. Homegrown Cowboy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. He says hit the like button. I agree. There's over 350 people in here. I'm confident in our ability to get this thing to 150 likes before kickoff. Come on. There's 384 people in here now. Surely we can get it up to 150 before kickoff. Christopher Partney, Sam, Joe Doman, Baylor Man, Rory, Brandon Tisdale, Derek Moyer says, I'm here, woo. We are. Hit the effing like. Yeah, hit the effing like button. Hit the like button, dummies. Senor Dog, Big Brother, Jarvis S, Dorado D, Kane says, I never hit the like button, but I will for Lou. Thank you, Kane. Yeah, you're good people. You're a scholar and a gentleman. Yeah. You probably vote and pay your taxes and everything else, too. Kevin Badger, X-Crisis 187. Big 12 Utes. Next year it will be. Right now, still Pac-12 Utes. Looks like, guys, Bryson Barnes starting for Utah. Which quarterback they end up going with for Utah? Is it going to be Bryson Barnes? Mean Machine, what's up, buddy? Andrew, Sam, John Shields, The Biscuit. Appreciate all y'all hanging out today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you're new here, if you clicked on this video because you think you can watch the game, I do not show the game. I do not show the game. I do YouTube for a living. This is how I put a roof over my head. And showing the game on YouTube, you run the risk of getting your channel shut down, and I just can't afford to do that. So I do not show any of the game. I react to the game. I do a lot of play-by-play, although I don't play-by-play every single play of the game. It's mostly a reaction stream. The idea is that you're at home watching the game, and we're just hanging out here in the comments section. I will not be showing the game. So I apologize to anybody that clicked on the video thinking you might see the game, but it clearly says reaction and commentary in the title of the video. So there you go. It's great to be back on the hunt, says Thug21. Uncle Lou passed me the chips. No chips today. I did chicken wings for dinner. I ate about an hour ago. I did Wingstop today. I had some mild buffalo wings and some lemon pepper wings. And I'm cooking boiled peanuts as we speak. They've been cooking for about 2.5 or 3 hours, so they're getting close to being done. I'll have to go in there and start tasting them here in a little bit. That's what I do. I just put a bunch of salt and water in a pot, put the peanuts in there, let them boil for 2 or 3 hours, and then I start tasting them. If they're not salty enough, you add a little more salt. If they're too salty, you add a little bit more water and cook them. It's not rocket science. That's how I do it. But yeah, I am making my first batch of boiled peanuts today. Figured I'd make them today so I can snack on them over the next 5 days. 5 straight days of football. Besides rivalry weekend, this is the absolute best weekend of college football right here. Kickoff weekend, week 1. Week 0 is kind of like an appetizer. You watch a couple of games that nobody cares about. You watch them because we haven't seen football in so long, but nothing really exciting. But week 1 starting on Thursday, going all the way through Labor Day weekend into Monday night. Just an absolutely unbelievable weekend of college football coming up, and I'm here for it. I'm going to be streaming as much as I can for you guys. Like I said, the streaming schedule is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but I'll be live right here on YouTube for primetime games tonight, Friday night, Sunday night, and Monday night, and Patreon page noon on Saturday. Make sure you get signed up for the Patreon page. We have a lot of fun over there. The link is in the description of the video. Leroy Jenkins, Billy Boy, Chris Campbell, and By Insanity. Thank y'all for hitting the super chat at the start of the show. I really appreciate that. He says, Leroy Jenkins says, look out. Here comes the Florida man. Yeah, Florida man. Here comes the Florida man. Look, I think it'll be a good game. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other, you know. Florida was absolutely terrible last year and beat Utah, who was the Pac-12 champion. So the idea that Florida will go out there and get blown out, could it happen? Yeah, but I don't think it's very likely. I'm expecting this to be a pretty good game, with or without Cam Rising. Obviously, it would be better for Utah if they had Cam Rising, but at least it's not a surprise. I assume they've known for the majority of the offseason that they weren't going to play Cam Rising in this Week 1 game. So I'm assuming all their preparation over the last couple of weeks has taken place with the backup quarterback, which will be playing tonight. Billy Boy, thank you for the super chat. He says, reminder, Patreon allows you to watch the halftime video live as Lou makes it. Yeah, on the Patreon streams, I don't black out the camera or turn the audio off or anything during halftime. On these streams, if I make a halftime video, I black the camera out and turn the audio off and just put a graphic up on the screen for like 10 minutes during halftime. But yeah, on the Patreon stream, we just keep it rolling while I make my halftime videos. Thank you, Billy Boy. Chris Campbell, thank you for the super chat. He says, I feel like we need to set up a GoFundMe for Octavian. Ain't no way he doesn't break his TV tonight. Yeah, for those of you that listen to the call-in show that I do every Tuesday and Thursday night right here on this channel, no call-in show tonight because we're streaming the game, but generally speaking, every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m., I do about a 2 or 3 hour college football call-in show, talk to college football fans from all over. And Octavian is a, I guess diehard would be a good way to describe him. Diehard Florida fan that's been calling in for a long time. And, of course, he's excited about the game today. I actually talked to him this morning, and he has agreed to come on during halftime today. And whether Florida's winning or losing, he's agreed to come on during halftime and give us his thoughts about the first half. So I'm looking forward to hearing from Octavian at halftime. Chris Campbell, thank you for the super chat. He says, feel like we need to set up a Oh, I'm sorry. I just read that one. I apologize. By Insanity says, but who had they played? Yeah, who had they played? You know, nobody ain't playing nobody. Yeah, they ain't playing nobody. Look, Notre Dame goes out, absolutely destroys Navy, holds Navy to 120 yards rushing, which is a hell of an accomplishment. They averaged 250 a game, 4th in the country last year. And right away, you get people with the, well, Notre Dame still ain't, it's Navy. They ain't playing nobody. LV426 says, looking forward to yet another season of play-by-plays with you. Very entertaining stuff. Thank you, LV. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you all again this season every single Saturday from now through the middle of January. I look forward to this all off season. Believe me, as someone who does this full time for a living, believe me, I am more than ready for the off season to be over. It is hard out here in these YouTube streets for a college football content creator in the off season. I'm telling you, it is ramen noodles and cereal hard in the off season. I'm glad to have the season back too. Bubba Tweet, thank you for the super chat. He says, Uncle Lou, I have Nebraska going 9-3. Feel like they for sure can do good this year. Am I crazy? No, you might be a little crazy on the 9-3, but I agree. Nebraska will be good this year. I picked them to beat Minnesota today. I took them with the points, with the 7 points, but I think they're going to win the game. Kickoff set here. Utah will be kicking off. Florida receiving. Here we go. Florida versus Utah live. First road game for Florida non-conference road game outside the state of Florida in over 30 years when they lost on the road at Syracuse. And here we go to kick us off. Going to be fielded right at the goal line. They bring it out. Florida to the 5, 10, 15. Stumbles. Hit short of the 20. Driven backwards. Forward progress is going to get him to around the 18-yard line. ETN with the return, Florida's running back. And here comes the debut of Graham Mertz, quarterback for Florida after spending the last 5 years, 3 or 4 years. He's been at Wisconsin for a while. 3 years maybe. Been at Wisconsin for a while. They get a new coaching staff. Didn't want him. Useless up there. They got rid of him and he entered the portal. Billy Napier scooped him up, and here we go. Florida takes the field with their offense. 1st and 10. First offensive play of the season for the Gators. Underway, Nebraska and Minnesota as well. Minnesota got the ball first in that one. Minnesota's 1st and 10. First play of the game. Florida 1st and 10. First play of the game. Here we go. Minnesota's got the ball in the 19. Florida's got the ball in the 18. 1st and 10 for the Gators. Graham Mertz in at quarterback. Pistol formation with 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen for Florida. I think that's ETN behind him, or is that Montrell Johnson? Now he motions up besides Graham Mertz. Mertz is yelling at the offensive line, still yelling at the offensive line, whispers to the running back. Now he's ready. Snap, back to throw. Mertz in the pocket, gets rid of it, complete on an out route. Picks up about 8 yards. Jackson with the catch for Florida. 2nd and about 2 coming up for the Gators. Good protection up front for Florida that time. No pressure on Mertz at all. He sat right in the pocket. Pistol formation again, 2 down, 2 at top, 2 on the bottom with the wide receivers. 1 goes in motion. Jet sweep to Pearsall. Big hit short of the first down. Wow. They ran a jet sweep to wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, probably Florida's best wide receiver. He transferred to Florida last year from Arizona State, if I remember right. And they run a little jet sweep to him on 2nd and 2, and he takes a big hit by the safety who came up and filled the gap there. No gain on the play, 3rd and 2 for Florida. What are going to call it 3rd and 1 on the 29. Need to get across the 30 for a first down. 3rd and 1 for Florida. 3rd and 2 for Minnesota. Gators up to the line quick. Pistol formation again. And Florida's false start. That's going to back them up 5 yards. Not sure if that was the crowd noise or what, but the entire right side of Florida's offensive line moved early. Instead of 3rd and 1, you're looking at a 3rd and 6 now for Florida. Can we turn the helmet when Florida loses? Florida's helmet's already upside down. Florida's helmet's been upside down since the spring game. Florida lost their spring game. Did you watch it? It was one of the worst spring games I've ever seen. Florida lost their spring game, so their helmet's been upside down since then. They have to win a game to get it turned back over. Same with Colorado, same with Alabama. Those are the 3 teams that lost their spring game. Alabama, Colorado, and Florida. Their helmets are all upside down. They got to win to get it turned over. Mertz back to throw on 3rd and 6. Incomplete. Wouldn't have been anywhere close to a first down. It was a swing pass to the running back. He tried to catch the ball about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, bobbled it and dropped it. And Florida goes 3 and out on their first possession. They're going to be kicking it away to Utah. Big 2nd down play there on that jet sweep to Pearsall. And then the false start made it 3rd and 6. And now Florida's going to be punting it away. Punter standing on his own 9-yard line for Florida here. The kick is away. Minnesota picked up a first down. The punt is fielded around the 25, tackled at the 27 or 28-yard line. So Utah is going to have their first offensive possession now. I'm not sure where Octavian is, if he's not in the comments. But he has agreed to come on during halftime of the game today. Come on to the show. We're going to patch him in through StreamYard, and he's going to give us his thoughts on the first half. So he'll be here at halftime. He said he'd come on whether Florida was winning or losing, and I believe him. I think Octavian's a man of his word. Minnesota looking at a 3rd and 8 now on their own 38-yard line. They're in a shotgun. Brand new quarterback for Minnesota, Tanner Mordecai, who seemed like he started there forever, is gone. So is running back Muhammad Ibrahim. QB takes off running on 3rd and 8. He's going to pick up the first down, and then he slides just short of the 50. Needed 8, gained about 12. 1st and 10 for Utah. QB under center, right at the 30-yard line. Play action pass. Wants to go deep. There he goes. Deep downfield. Caught! Touchdown, Utah. Jesus Christ, Florida, what in the fuck are you doing on the first goddamn play? Florida's defense was absolute dumpster juice last year. And I forget this Johnny-come-lately jabroni they brought in to fix the defense, but I actually fell for it. All offseason, I said, I don't know about Florida's offense. They're going to have trouble getting first downs, never mind scoring. But the defense will be better. Florida comes out right away and says, Lou, as usual, you're fucking wrong. No, our defense is not any good at all. It's fucking terrible. In fact, it's so goddamn terrible, we're going to give up a 70-yard touchdown pass on the first play of the fucking season to a backup fucking Pac-12 quarterback who nobody even knows who the fuck they are. Unbelievable, man. Florida is a fucking joke. Wow. Unreal. And then the Florida defensive backs are falling all over each other like fucking the Three Stooges back there. Look at them. Jesus Christ. That one guy was laying on the ground doing the fucking curly shuffle. Boy, I'm glad I didn't wear my SEC. Something told me don't wear that SEC shirt today, Lou. Don't wear the SEC shirt. Something told me don't wear the SEC shirt. Boy, I'm glad I listened to myself. I'm glad I listened to myself. Wow, what do y'all think about that, chat? What do y'all think? Oh, wow, almost 700 people in here now. All right, make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Come on now. The start of college football season, over 700 people in here. I know, okay, 400 likes. 400 likes. Florida gave up a touchdown pass on the first goddamn play of their season. I mean, their offense had the ball, and of course they went 3 and out. But I mean, the first defensive play, they gave up a 70-yard fucking touchdown pass. I'm spitting all over everything here. What is happening here? Is there a hole in my lip? Is there a hole in there somewhere? No? I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's happening here. Wow. Wow. Unreal. Unreal. Minnesota's drive stalled out, by the way. Nebraska now has the ball. So our first look at the new Nebraska offense under head coach Matt Rule. Georgia Tech throwaway Jeff Sims quarterbacking for Nebraska this year. What do y'all think about that? Octavian is a ghost already, woo. I think Octavian will come on at halftime. I think he'll come on at halftime. I talked to him this morning. I think he'll come on at halftime. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, Millennial Diamond, when you say, can we turn that helmet around when Florida loses? I know it's hard to tell from so far away, but the Colorado helmet is upside down right here. The Florida helmet right here is upside down. And over here, the Alabama helmet is upside down. So those are the 3 helmets right now to start the season that are upside down. And all 3 of those helmets are upside down for the same reason. Those 3 teams lost their spring game and embarrassed themselves. So in order to get their helmet turned back around, Florida has to beat a Power 5 team. Alabama has to beat a Power 5 team. Colorado has to beat anybody at all, which ain't going to be easy because they're a fucking garbage fire. They're just absolutely a joke. All right, Utah kicking off after that 70-yard touchdown pass on their first play of the year. Offensively, the kickoff goes through the back of the end zone. A touchback for Florida. Florida's going to try to reset here. They went 3 and out on offense on their first possession. A good first down play, picked up 8 yards on a little out route. On second down, Florida ran a jet sweep to Ricky Pearsall, and the safety came up, made a huge hit for no gain. And then on 3rd and 2, they false started. It made it 3rd and 6, and they threw an incomplete pass and punted. So Graham Mertz trots his happy ass back out onto the field after going 3 and out. We'll see what Florida can do with their second possession of the game. Here we go. Damn Florida, man. I'm glad I'm old, so I remember Florida being good. 1st and 10 for the Gators, 3 wide to the bottom of the screen. Shotgun, Mertz, play action. He's going to keep. He runs, dives head first, and picks up 5 yards. Looked like a zone read. He decided to keep it instead of handing it off the ETN. Utah's got a defender down on the play. Mertz looked very awkward running the ball. If you're a Florida fan and you're used to seeing Anthony Richardson run with the ball last year, that's not what you're going to get with Graham Mertz. Graham Mertz runs, he looks like he's not real sure what he's doing. And then a kind of an awkward dive at the end of the play. He did pick up 5 yards, though. And Utah lucky they didn't get called for targeting there at number 15. That was helmet-to-helmet contact for sure. That's not the Utah player that got hurt, but that number 15 looked like he could have been called for targeting. 2nd and 5 coming up for Florida once Utah's player hobbles on off the field. They got him over to the sideline now. He's limping around a little. It looks like he's probably going to be okay. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Gators. 12:50 to go in the first quarter. Utah up 7-0. Florida's second possession of the game. Shotgun again 3 wide to the bottom, 1 up top, pistol formation. Mertz hands off this time. Nowhere to go for Florida. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 5 coming up. Is that ETN with the carry for Florida, number 7? Florida's got 2 primary backs, ETN and Montrell Johnson. Number 7, I believe, is ETN. Yes, number 7 is ETN. He had a good year last year. Florida was a really good running team last year, but they've totally revamped their offensive line this year. And, of course, without Anthony Richardson, that takes away some of the running ability as well. That's why I really doubt Florida's offense this year. 3rd and 5 for the Gators. Bunch formation to the top, 1 wide at the bottom. Mertz shotgun, back to throw. Play action pass, looking, throws over the middle. Incomplete, in and out of the hands of the receiver. No pun intended, but that receiver got the alligator arms. The safety was sitting over the top and was about to cut him in half. And the Florida wide receiver did one of these. Watch him. Watch. Arms out. Arms in. Oh! Yeah, he knew he was about to get hit, so he went ahead and did one of the T-Rex deals. Florida goes 3 and out again, punting this time from their own 15. Kick is away. This one's going to be, wow, what a kick. All the way down to the 13-yard line. Utah return man slips and goes absolutely nowhere. Might have lost a couple of yards on the return, all the way back to the 10-yard line, it looks like. Might should have let that one go and run into the end zone. I don't know. 1st and 10 for Utah and a long way to go. They're up 7-0. Florida's had the ball twice. Nary a first down. Nary a one. Utah's had the ball once. They've ran 1 play, and it was a 70-yard touchdown pass. If you, for some reason, joined late, 70-yard touchdown pass for Utah in their first offensive play of the year. Florida's had 2 possessions, both 3 and out. Utah 7, Florida 0. Utah under center this time at QB. 1st and 10 from the 12. 1 running back. Kind of a double wing formation. And now it looks like Utah might have moved early. And this is going to back them up inside the 10-yard line. Yeah, false start on Utah. That's not a good penalty to be getting at home. Going to back themselves up. Spectrum just pulled ESPN off live TV for failed negotiations. What the fuck, right before kickoff. Yeah, these networks, they do this shit on purpose. Right before the college football season starts is always when they choose to negotiate, because they figure they have a bunch of leverage because people are going to call and bitch and moan about football. That sucks, though, that they took it off the air. Back to throw in his own end zone now. Gets rid of it. Complete. Out to the 15. So he's going to pick up about 8 yards. It's going to be 2nd and about 7 or so for Utah. It was 1st and 15 after the false start. They gained 7 or 8 yards there, it looked like. 9 yards. 2nd and 6 now coming up for Utah. Nice looking throw that time by the quarterback. Also in 2. Did we figure out which quarterback that is? Is it Bryson Barnes or the other one? Same formation, that double wing. QB under center. What QB is that? Somebody tell me in the chat. They're going to hand it off this time. Nowhere to go. Breaks 1 tackle in the backfield and does manage to get back to the line of scrimmage. It might have gained a yard, but it's going to be 3rd and long for Utah. Now Florida wants to fight since they can't win the game. Florida wants to fight because they can't win the game. Referees get in and separate them. It is Barnes. Okay, thank y'all. Thank y'all for that. Justin Anderson, thank you for the super chat. He says, good news, Gators. Your punt unit looks fantastic. Yeah, they have a hell of a punter, don't they? Hell of a punter. Hell of a punter. Florida thugs already fighting, never change, says J.B. Fulton. Still no score, Nebraska and Minnesota. Back to throw. Oh, they whistled it dead. That would have been a first down. The pass was complete, but they whistled it dead, and Utah's going to get called for another false start. Wow. Sloppy play here from Utah, which is unusual for Utah. And Utah's a very well-coached team. We all know what they are talent-wise. They can't recruit in the top 10 or 15 and never will, but they're one of the most well-coached teams in the country every single year. Very unusual to see them get 2 false start penalties at home in the same drive. So instead of 3rd and 5, it's now 3rd and 10, back to the 12-yard line. Shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Barnes waiting on the snap, gets it back to throw. Good protection, gets rid of it. Caught right at the first down marker and falls forward for a first down. Needed 10, picked up 12. Moves the sticks and keeps it alive. Florida, boy, how does the offense get not one but 2 false start penalties and you still let them pick up a first down in that series? Unbelievable. Piss poor defense from Florida to go along with the piss poor offense. 9.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Utah still up 7-0. This is Utah's second possession of the game. Florida's gone 3 and out twice. Utah scored on a 70-yard touchdown pass on their first possession. Play action pass, rolls out. Barnes throws, caught to a wide open receiver up across the 40 to the 41 on a crossing route. Looks like a tight end, maybe a big old guy. That can't be a running back. Yeah, that was a tight end, number 47, on about a 10-yard crossing route, and he was wide open. Safety comes up and makes the hit, but not before he picks up the first down. Quarterback keeper this time for Utah gets loose, tackled from behind, shoestring tackle. Ends up picking up about 5 yards on the first down play. Bryson Barnes, the Utah quarterback, in for Cameron Rising, who's still recovering from a torn ACL that he suffered in the Rose Bowl. Just imagine if Cam Rising was 100%. Yeah. Johnny says, let's go Utes. Utah -6, easiest money ever made, says Zach. Yeah, it got all the way down to 4.5 today. 2nd and 5. Barnes under center. Hands it off to the running back this time. Looking for room. Doesn't find much. Plows forward for a couple of yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 3 coming up for Utah. 5-star hearts. Florida's got 5-star hearts, huh? Still no score. Nebraska and Minnesota. UConn and NC State tied at 7. That's a little... well, it's a little alarming. Let's just be honest. It's a little fucking alarming is what it is. So, you might even say it's very fucking alarming. 3rd and 3 for Utah now. On the Florida 48. Barnes under center. 1 running back. They're going to hand him the ball, and there is nowhere to go. Florida was living in the backfield. I don't know about that play call either. That was a long, drawn out, almost looked like a draw. It took forever to develop. Running back just sat back there, got the ball 5 yards deep, and just never had anywhere to go. And Utah's going to have to kick it away, I would assume. They're close to midfield, but I would assume they're going to punt it away here. It's going to be 4th and 3, and yeah, they are going to punt it away. Punter's going to be standing on his own 35. Kick is away. Ball hits inside the 5 and goes into the end zone for a touchback. So Florida will have another opportunity on offense here. This will be their 3rd possession offensively. What's good, Lou? Florida looks bad. Switch to Mizzou. Mizzou's playing South Dakota. They should win by 50. I got the Florida-Utah game on in Nebraska, Minnesota. It looked like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Good morning, Lou. Just joining. Great play-by-playing. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Good to see you in here, buddy. Utah should have went on 4th. Game is on YouTube for free right now. NC State is in a dogfight with UConn. Does Florida even have an offense on the team? Not that we've seen yet. Maybe they're hiding it. You know how they do the whole we're going to hide our offense deal? Could be one of those things. How's Nebraska's offense looking so far? No offense in this game so far, really. Each team's had the ball one time and hadn't done anything with it. Minnesota's got the ball back now for their 2nd possession. They just completed a nice pass down the middle on a deep crossing route. Looks like 1st and 10 around the 39-yard line, their own 39-yard line. The Greek wonder in at quarterback for Minnesota. Boy, you can't pronounce his name. It's like Kalalikia Kanakis or something at quarterback for Minnesota. They're going to hand it off on 1st and 10. Has a hole off left tackle. Pushes forward for 6, maybe 7 yards. Nice run on first down. Muhammad Ibrahim gone from Minnesota. He's pretty much been their offense the last couple of years. Minnesota does return the majority of their wide receivers from last year, but they have a new quarterback. It's going to be 2nd and short coming up for Minnesota now. Florida and Utah's on a commercial break. It'll be Florida's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 25 after a touchback when they come back from commercial on that one. 2nd and 3 for Minnesota. Play action pass, rolls out, looking, throws, caught, short. Wide receiver running the wrong way, and Nebraska makes him pay. Wide receiver tried to circle around the other direction and ends up losing a couple of yards on the play. 3rd down coming up now for the Gophers. NC State struggle busting with UConn. Yeah, they're tied 7 apiece. About 10 minutes to go in the second quarter on that one. That's a little surprising. A lot of people thought NC State was a sleeper pick in the ACC this year. They brought Brennan Armstrong in to play quarterback after Devin Leary transferred to Kentucky. But not looking good for NC State right now. Florida game coming back on now. 3rd and 3 for Minnesota in a shotgun, throws, slant, caught across midfield, tackled right there. 1st and 10, Minnesota on the Nebraska 48. No score in that one, 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Just under 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, Florida and Utah. Florida, 1st and 10 on their own 20. Their 3rd possession of the game, they've yet to get a first down. Mertz in a shotgun. Reverse to the wide receiver, lots of room and speed. Turns the corner and picks up about 9 yards. Who is that? That number 3, a little bitty guy. But he looked quick, though. What's his name? Wilson? I think his name is Wilson for you Florida people. Third and 1 now for Florida. Just short of the 30-yard line. Got to get across the 30 for a first down. Mertz in a shotgun again. 4 wide. 1 comes in motion. Back to pass. Mertz into pocket. Throws. Wide open. Caught across midfield to the 40. Tackled all the way down to the Utah 35. Crossing route by Burke. I think that's their tight end. And he was wide open. Came all the way across from the other side of the field. Look at him come across from all the way from the other side of the field, and nobody picked him up. He ran right by 2 linebackers. Wide open. Mertz hits him in stride. Good throw by Mertz that time. By far the biggest play of the day for Florida. Down into Utah territory now, inside the 35 to the 34. 1st and 10. Mertz in a pistol formation. Snap. Play action. Back to throw. Under pressure. Gets rid of it to the running back. Out in the flat. Has room. Up the sideline. 20. Upended their fumbles. I think they're going to say the ground caused that, but Florida jumped on the fumble anyway, but I think that's one of those the ground caused the fumble deals. Another nice play by Florida. A little swing pass out to number 2, and he took off up the sideline. Gains about 20 yards. Yeah, ground definitely caused that fumble, so it's going to be 1st and 10 for Florida inside the 20 at around the 17. Are they going to review this? Because they've done backed it up to the 18. It should be up on the... Oh, no, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. They did give him forward progress. Play action pass. Under pressure. Down he goes. Sacked. No protection for Mertz that time. He's had good protection most of the times he's dropped back to throw, but it broke down that time. There was about 3 Utah defenders all over him. Mertz folds up like a dollar store lawn chair, goes down for a loss of about 6 or 7. 2nd and long coming up for the Gators now. Smell like smoke, Utah Gators. O-line can't block. Yeah, they having trouble right now. They're having trouble right now. No question about it. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, Utah 7, Florida 0. 2nd and 18 for Florida back on their 25 after that sack. Pistol formation again. Mertz in a shotgun, running back right behind him. Kind of a double wing formation with 2 wide receivers, one on the top, one on the bottom. Snap. Handoff right up the gut. Makes a move. Has a hole inside the 20 to the 19. Picks up about 6 yards. Looks like 3rd and 11 coming up for Florida. Looks like 3rd and about 11 coming up for Florida. What's your thoughts on Arkansas's look this season, Lou? I know you'll be honest. I'm up in the air on Arkansas. Generally speaking, I don't think they're going to be that good, but I hear a lot of other people that are high on them. I mean, I like KJ Jefferson coming back. He's an experienced quarterback. I've always kind of questioned his passing ability a little bit, and he doesn't have a lot of weapons on the outside. At least he hasn't in the past. But they've always got a good line of scrimmage. They tend to play good defense, but they had a ton of turnover on their roster through the portal and also lost about half their coaching staff. So I just wonder how quickly they're going to be able to get up to speed this year. I mean, I don't think they're going to be like as good as they were a couple of years ago when they got ranked up around the top 10 at one point, before Georgia beat them like 100-0. Or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of in the air. I mean, they should definitely make a bowl game. I mean, it should be nothing like 3 or 4 wins or whatever like it was before Sam Pittman got there. I would think they would be in the 6 to 8 win range. I'm real high on LSU. I've got them in my top 5. Florida attempting a field goal here on 4th and 8. The kick is up. And right down the middle, it's good. And Florida continues their streak of not being shut out. Congratulations to the Gators. It's been like 40 years or something since Florida was shut out. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I'm high on LSU. I've got them third. I've got them third in my final preseason rankings. I update my rankings every Monday during the season, so we'll see how they do. Well, I won't update them this Monday because you got a game on Monday. I won't update my rankings till Tuesday this coming week because you have a game Sunday and Monday, but we'll see how they do against Florida State. I've got Florida State at 8. I've got LSU at 3, Florida State at 8. I picked LSU I picked LSU in that game, but I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think it's going to be a really good game, close game. The only outcome that would surprise me with LSU Florida State really would be a blowout one way or the other. I'm expecting that to be a pretty close game. Jordan says, I agree with you, Lou. Arkansas's biggest issue was the secondary last year, but everyone there is saying it's much improved, so fingers crossed. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it might sound kind of obvious, but Arkansas's record, I think, depends a lot on how improved is Auburn with Hugh Freeze versus last year, and how improved is Texas A&M this year versus last year, because Alabama's going to be pretty good and likely beat Arkansas. LSU's going to be pretty good and likely beat Arkansas. So what about Ole Miss? So is Arkansas going to fall below Auburn and Texas A&M or above Auburn and Texas A&M? And then what can they do? Because the Mississippi schools, what are they? Maybe they split with the Mississippi schools. Y'all also play Florida, I believe. Arkansas plays Florida this year. That's honestly a 50-50 game. Florida's not supposed to be that good this year either. Has Arkansas flatlined? I do wonder if Arkansas's peak is where they were 2 years ago. I do wonder that. Getting to 8-9 wins, maybe an occasional 10-win season where they crack the top 10. But the way Arkansas recruits, it's going to be hard for Arkansas to consistently win 9+ games. It's going to be really hard. That's the biggest difference between the teams that finish in the top 10 almost every single year versus the ones that have like a one-off great season, like TCU last year, right? A team can have a one-off season like that. But what are the odds of TCU finishing in the top 10 2, 3, 4, 5 years in a row? 0. None. It's just no chance at all. They don't recruit well enough to do that year after year. Arkansas, to me, is kind of like that. In a good year where they maybe get good quarterback play and have a roster loaded with veteran experience or something like that, and a couple of games go their way, in a given year, could they get to 9, 10, maybe even more wins? Yes. But on average, what is Arkansas going to do? 6 to 8 wins, I think, because of the recruiting. Wondering if the Gators are the 4th best team in the state. We'll find out next year. Next year, Florida plays all the other Florida teams. Next year, Florida plays Miami, Florida State, and UCF. Florida plays all 3 of them next year. And I would not be surprised if Florida lost to all 3 of them. I would not be surprised if Florida lost to all three of them next year. 1st and 10 for Utah following that Florida field goal. They've got the ball on their own 16-yard line. Barnes under center. Play action pass. Rolls out. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Has to throw it away. You know what? Florida is getting pressure on this quarterback almost every single play. Now, to his credit, he's gotten rid of it quick and made a couple of nice throws, but Florida, the Utah offensive line is having a hard time protecting this quarterback. Either that or Florida's doing some kind of exotic blitzes or something that Utah's not ready for. But on almost every single play, it seems like this quarterback's got a Florida Gators player in his face. 2nd and 10 now, back to throw. No, hands it off. Cuts it upfield. Picks up about 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6, though, for Utah. Florida owns Georgia, says John Trent. There you go. The dumbest fucking thing I've heard all goddamn day. The dumbest thing I've heard all day, idiot. Jay, don't delete that. What are you doing? Jay, stop it. I'm going to take your wrench away, Jay. If we start deleting everybody that makes a stupid comment, there won't be anybody left. Don't do that again. Minnesota just kicked a field goal to go up 3-0 over Nebraska. Barnes back to throw. Incomplete on 3rd and 6, and Utah goes 3 and out. They're going to have to kick it right back to Florida, and Florida's going to have good field position too because Utah's going to be punting from around their goal line. Yeah, but what a fucking idiotic, moronic statement to say that Florida owns Georgia. Georgia's beat them 2 years in a row, 5 of the last 6. Georgia owns the all-time series. Georgia has more national titles. Georgia has more SEC titles. There's really nothing you can point to for the whole Florida owns Georgia thing. So I'm not sure if that guy's mentally retarded or he just bumped his head or I don't know what's going on. He sat in a sauna for too long. I'm not sure, but that's the dumbest fucking thing I've heard today. Congratulations, John Trent, or whatever your name is. All right, so 3-0, Minnesota strikes first over Nebraska. Not a whole lot of offense in the first quarter of that one. Utah really hasn't had a decent drive. I mean, they scored on a 70-yard touchdown pass. Other than that, they haven't really done anything offensively. Florida had 2 3-and-outs, but then they did have a good drive last time out. Went down and settled for a field goal, but that drive Florida had, their last possession, is the best drive either team's had. So here we go, Florida again. They're going to hand it off up to Gut this time. Picks up a tough 2 or 3 yards on the ground. 2nd and about 7 coming up for the Gators now. Utah 7, Florida 3. Coming up on a minute to go in the first quarter of this one. Florida just needs to settle down, says Truckin' with Jeter. Robbie the Bot. Do you need a TV provider to watch ESPN Plus? No. No, you don't. All you got to do is sign up for ESPN Plus. Just pay the $9.99. You can get it on any smart TV, cell phone, computer. Just Google ESPN Plus, or if you have a smart TV, just download the ESPN Plus app. It's $9.99 a month. Gators going deep. Caught! Wow! What a catch by Burke, that tight end. That's the second big catch of the day for him. This was a streak route down the sideline. Utah had pretty good coverage on this one, but you got to turn your head around, dude. The guy never turned. You got to turn the ball. The guy never turned his fucking head around. The ball zoomed right by his ear hole. Pretty good coverage, but hell, if you don't turn your head around, you can't see the ball coming. Huge play for Florida there. 1st and 10. What is that, up near midfield? Across midfield, all the way down to the 36 of Utah. 1st and 10. Pistol formation again. Mertz gets the snap. Play action pass. Under pressure. Gets rid of it. Caught. Wide open. Another wide open tight end. Down inside the 20, this time to the 18. Florida is absolutely killing Utah with their tight ends on these crossing routes. Look, it's nothing complicated. The guy runs 3 yards downfield and crosses, and there's not a Utah player within 10 yards of him when he makes the catch. Utah better figure something out with them crossing routes. Mertz is out here yelling and screaming. End of the first quarter, Utah 7, Florida 3, but Florida threatening down in the red zone now. Tennessee is the best team in the country, says Tennessee man. Don't type in all caps, Tennessee man. It's aggravating for everybody else trying to read the chat. Mertz making better throws than Anthony Richardson has all year. Yeah, that's not hard to do. That defender got what played Keely Ringo. Yeah, Keely Ringo had a hard time learning to turn his head around too. You're right. You're right about that. Gator fans in here to brag about being down 3-7 after the first quarter. Go Big Orange Lou, your channel is still the best. Thank you, Dustin. Still good to see you in there. Okay, over 1,000 people in here now. Wow, appreciate all y'all tuning in. If there's anybody new to the channel, I do not show the game on stream. I do YouTube for a living, and if you show the game on YouTube, you run the risk of getting your channel shut down, and I can't take that chance. So I do not show the game, but I react to the game. I give play-by-play the best I can. I'm watching Florida, Utah, and Nebraska, Minnesota on a secondary TV over here. Minnesota's up 3-0 on Nebraska. 12.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Not a lot of offense in that game. Florida 7, Utah 3. Other way around. Utah 7, Florida 3. Utah scored on their first offensive play of the year, a 70-yard touchdown pass. Other than that, Utah's done nothing offensively. Florida's had 2 3-and-outs and 2 pretty good drives. The first of their good drives ended in a field goal. That's what made it 7-3. Second good drive underway now. They're down in the red zone into the first quarter and a commercial break. But make sure you're hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I post college football videos almost every single day of the year round. We do a bunch of live streams during the week and obviously on the weekends for the game streams and stuff like that we do. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications bell on. I go live all the time. I do call-in shows every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. We take calls from football fans all over the country, talk college football. We have a really good time. Really good community of people on this channel. So if you just found the channel searching for the game or something like that, subscribe, stick around, make some friends. We have a really good time here. Jonathan Jones, thank you for the super chat. He says, I really hope our corners for Georgia this year turn their head around. Yeah, well, it seems to take about 2 years for the corners at Georgia to learn how to turn their head around. Florida actually playing competent football, says Johnny. Captain Tripp says Octavian halftime show. Yeah, our buddy Octavian is supposed to be coming on at halftime to give his thoughts on the first half, so we'll see. We'll see. Smokey Ramirez says the Jorts should win this one by at least 17. I'd be surprised if either team won this one by 17, but we'll see. Florida looks decent so far, needs to score a touchdown, though. Kevin Badger says, trust me, Mertz will crap the bed. It's just a matter of time, huh? Matter of time, huh? K Stark says mildew for Heisman. Yeah, that's not happening. So, it's not happening. Rusty Brown says back home from Lafayette, Louisiana, going to the September 23rd game, first game ever. Go Dogs. September 23rd. Is that UAB or South Carolina? Which one is that? Is that UAB or South Carolina? I can't remember. It's either UAB or South Carolina. All right, here we go. Florida game back on. Second quarter, first play. Handoff for Florida right up the gut. Doesn't have much room. Falls forward for a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Gators. They're in the red zone. They trail 7-3. Second quarter just underway. Second quarter just underway there. How cringe is Dan Mullen on ESPN, says David Overstreet. I really don't know. I don't listen. I don't have any volume turned on when I watch football games. I just watch them. I don't listen to them. I don't even have the volume turned on at all. Graham Mertz in a shotgun. Back to throw. Into the end zone. Incomplete on a corner route to Ricky Pearsall. Looked like the wide receiver kind of went on a post and Mertz through a corner. Not sure if miscommunication or what happened there, but pass falls incomplete. 3rd and 7 coming up for Florida now around, their own 17 or so. Jordan Sherrill, thank you for the super chat. He says, yeah, Hogs are a confusing team to follow. Hell, they could beat Bama and lose to everyone else for all we know. Yeah, well, I don't think it'll be anything like that. Somebody's asking about Virginia. Hold on a second. Empty backfield for Graham Mertz. 4 wide. Back to throw. Play whistle dead. Somebody call a timeout here. Illegal formation on Florida, so that's going to back them up. It was a weird-looking formation. It looked like it might have been a trick play, Like, you know the deal where a player looks like he's running off the field, but he doesn't? He stops right at the edge of the sideline. Like, look at this number 2 here. Look at this number 2. And then he literally stops, like, right on the edge. I'm not sure what was going on there, but they got Florida for an illegal formation. Backs them up 3rd and 12. Now, I'll get to that Virginia comment in a second. 3rd and 12 now coming up for Florida. 4 wide this time, 3 to the bottom, 1 up top. Running back standing next to Mertz. Back to throw. Looking under pressure. Steps up. He's going to take off running. Has room. Whoa! Big hit. Big hit. Mertz might not survive that. Welcome. Wow. Holy moly. Look. I'm no Graham Mertz fan. Give this man credit. He did not slide. He did not go out of bounds. He was looking for a first down here, and he paid a price. Wow. He fumbled out of bounds. And now what's the ruling here? You can't fumble the ball forward, or can you, in college? Because he fumbled the ball forward and out of bounds. He got hit short of the first down. He fumbled short of the first down, but he fumbled forward. And then the ball got knocked out of bounds. They're going to call it 4th and 1, and Florida's lined up to go for it here. Mertz in a shotgun. Now he runs up under center. Florida move, false start. It's going to be 4th and 6 now. They're probably going to have to settle for a field goal. Now, it looks like they were going to go for it on 4th and 1 in the red zone. Another false start for Florida is going to make it 4th and 6. And I would assume a field goal on deck now. Holy moly, don't look now, but Jeff Sims just completed a pass for Nebraska. Yeah, they're sending the field goal unit out now on 4th and 6. So Florida looking to kick their second field goal here. They're down 7-3. Mertz took, for those of you who aren't watching the game, Mertz took an absolutely huge hit on that 3rd down run. Missed the field goal. No good. Pushed it right. Hot garbage and fucking steaming pile of doo-doo field goal kicker. And that wasn't but like a 30-yarder. Holy moly. Wow. Wow. Absolute dumpster juice. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Waff Barry wants to know, how about my UVA Who's this year? Yeah, unfortunately, they're going to be unwatchable. They might be a one-win team. I don't have no hate for Virginia. You ask the questions, I answer them, that's all. I just don't think Virginia's going to be very good. They're a 28-point underdog this weekend to Tennessee. I think Tennessee will be beating them by 28 in the first quarter. I don't think Virginia's going to be very good this year. It's a tragic situation what happened there last year, and everybody feels bad for that. But football-wise, they're in for a rough road, I think, this year. First down run for Utah. Running back stutter steps in the backfield before cutting upfield for a gain of maybe 2. Tough sledding on the ground for Utah here. Having a hard time running the ball against this Florida defense. I mean, outside of that that 70-yard touchdown pass they hit on the first play of their first offensive play of the game, Utah really hadn't done much offensively here. They really hadn't done much offensively here. Augusta Bourne. Thank you, buddy. Good to see you in here. Uncle Lou's Augusta born as well, and raised, and still lives here too. 2nd and 7 for Utah. Another handoff. No, fooled Uncle Lou. Quarterback keeper on the zone read. Fooled Uncle Lou. Fooled the Florida defense and 2, and also picks up a first down. Needed 7, got 8. 1st and 10 Utah. Tricked me there. They got a new quarterback in 2, and also Bryson Barnes no longer in the game at quarterback for Utah. Different quarterback in the game. Quarterback hokey pokey underway for Utah. Here we go. You put one QB in, you take the other QB out, you put this other QB in, and you run him all about. Number 13 in for Utah now. Shotgun. 1st and 10. Hands it off to the running back. Big hole this time, right up the gut. Oh my God, he ran over that man. Florida safety just got road graded about 12 yards downfield. 15-yard gain for Utah. picks up another first down. And this is already the best drive of the game for Utah. I know they scored on that 70-yard pass, but that's not really a drive. That was one play, 70-yard pass. Someone get him some milk. Uh-oh. Florida still sucks, says Charisse. Just run every play. Florida can't stop it, says Shoot 'em. Paxton says, what did we expect from Florida? Daryl Cowart, what's up, buddy? Sardis, Georgia. Augusta born. Oh, you're in Sardis now. All right. That's down south, isn't it? Where is Sardis? 1st and 10. Another handoff. Nowhere to go this time. Picks up maybe 2. It's going to be 2nd and about 8 for Utah, getting up close to midfield. I can't wait to see Uncle Lou's video on this game, says Brian. Well, I'm going to do one at halftime, and then I'm going to do a post game. I'm going to do one at halftime, and then I'm going to do a post game. Missed a super chat from Trucking with Jeter. Thank you, Trucking with Jeter. He says, as a Florida man, I feel like the players just need to settle down. No, I read that one. Much love to your channel, Lou. Go Gators. Thank you for the super chat, Trucking with Jeter. 2nd and 8 for Utah. Under center now. QB fumbles. Whoa, yeah, that didn't work. Sit down, buddy. Wow. Now, that looked like some Harlem Globetrotter type shit there. That was bad for Utah there. And then the quarterback, he got all kinds of antsy and nervous. Didn't know what the fuck to do. So he looked like Little Miss Tuffet. Sat right on his Tuffet, too. Watch him. Pick the ball up. Turn around. Little Miss Muffet. Sit right down on your Tuffet. Look at him. Sit down on my Tuffet. There you go, buddy. There you go. Eat your curds and away. 3rd and 12. 3rd and 12 for Utah. On their own 41-yard line. They're up a point, 7-6. No, 7-3. I'm sorry. Back to throw. Complete across midfield, but short of the first down. Needed 12, picked up about 9. It's going to be 4th and 3 just across midfield. What are they going to do here? What are they going to do here? 10:01 to go in the second quarter, and the clock's ticking. 4th and 3 just across midfield, and it looks like they're going to punt the ball away and play defense. Going to play field position here. Cam Rising with his hairdo, standing over there on the sideline. That's amazing. Yeah, they're going to kick it away here. 4th and 3, just across midfield. Kick is away. Going to try to down them deep. Fair caught at the 4. There is a flag down, though. I don't know what the flag would be on a fair catch unless it's some kind of illegal fair catch signal. See what the flag is here. Oh, they had 2 players on the field with the same number. Florida. Jesus Christ. Billy Napier. That's a coaching problem. That's a coaching penalty. Florida had 2 players on the field that had the same number jersey on. What are they doing? What are they doing? It's Pee-wee shit. You know what that is? That's Sunbelt shit. That's Sunbelt shit there. Sunbelt Billy. Oh, you better slow. You're losing down. Sunbelt Billy now, baby. 2 players on the field with the same goddamn number. 1st and 10 for, that's an automatic, wow, that's an automatic first down for Utah. Holy shit, Sunbelt Billy. Wow. Holy fuck. Wow. I thought it was just like a 5-yard penalty, back Florida up after the punt. No. Because it was 4th and 3, that gave Utah first down. Now, they come out on first down and do absolutely nothing. The original quarterback, Bryce Barnes, is back in the game now, and he sailed the ball 100 miles over the receiver's head, incomplete. But wow, what a boneheaded fucking coaching mistake there for Sunbelt Billy. Sending 2 players out onto the field on a punt return with the same number on. Wow. Wow, that's circus shit there. 2nd and 10 for Utah. Shotgun, back to throw. Gets rid of it. Caught, wide open. First down and then some, inside the 30, out of bounds at the 29. Somebody forgot to cover that guy. That looked like one of Florida's tight ends running wide open down the field, except it was a Utah wide receiver this time. First and 10 for the Utes, and they're in business deep in Florida territory. This game will be won by the team that fucks up less, says JL318. Yeah. I mean, it is week one. I guess we give Sunbelt Billy a little bit of a pass in week one. Who remembers last year's LSU Florida State game in week one? Boy, that was the sloppiest damn football game I've ever seen. Special teams, blunders, penalties, stupid turnovers. Utah running the option to no avail, though. Quarterback picks up a yard or two, second and long coming up for the Utes. For the Utes. Joseph said, did you know Ohio State has a losing record to Tennessee, Florida, and South Carolina? Yeah, I did know that. In fact, I don't even know if they have a win over any of those teams. But I did know they had a losing record, yes. Thank you, Joseph. John, what did John have to say? Where did he go? Thank you for the super chat, John. I appreciate that. 2nd and 8 for Utah. Under 8 minutes to go in the second quarter now. Man in motion. Quarterback run. Lots of room. Inside the 20. Wow! Touchdown, Utah. Okay, now I see why they put this second quarterback in the game. This guy can scoot. He looks like Cracker Jack Lamar Jackson. Wow. He put a move on that Florida man, too. Touchdown, Utah. 27-yard touchdown run by backup quarterback Johnson. Utah really playing the QB hokey pokey on this series here. Playing multiple QBs on this one series alone. Barnes started out at QB. They bring Johnson in. They ran an option. And then a pass, and then the option again. And on the second option, the quarterback scrambles 27 yards for a touchdown. Utah all over Florida now, 14-3. Just under 10 minutes to go in the first half of this one. Wow. Hope it doesn't get ugly, Florida man. The Pac-12 is only even semi-defensive team struggling to stop the hot doo-doo on a paper plate on the 50-yard line that is Florida's offense. Well, I disagree about the only defensive team. Washington's got a good defense too, but generally speaking, I get what you're saying. But yeah, I get what you're saying, generally speaking. Utah beating Southern Cal again this year, says RKD. Yeah, they beat them twice last year. That's not a fluke. You can say what you want about beating somebody once. Maybe you get lucky. You want to call it a fluke or whatever. Utah beat Southern Cal not once but twice last year. You beat a team twice in a season, that's not a fluke. That just means you're a better team. And the second game in particular, they blew them out. It was like 42-24. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. But Southern Cal only plays football on one side of the ball. So, it's hard to get all that surprised when Lincoln Riley, I don't understand. Please don't get me started on Southern Cal and Lincoln Riley. Please don't. It pisses me off that a major college football program can just ignore one side of the ball for 8 goddamn fucking years. Oklahoma and now Southern Cal or Lincoln Riley. Don't get me started on all that. Please. Please don't get me started on all that. How mad are you if you're some random Lincoln Riley QB or wide receiver? Yeah, you're going to the NFL. You're going to win awards in college. You're going to put up stupid numbers every single year. But then every time you trot over to the sideline, you've got to watch that fucking coffee can of a defense just get absolutely shredded and obliterated. It's got to be, it's aggravating as it is for me. Imagine how aggravating it is for Southern Cal offensive type people. USC runs play action defense. Actually, it's not play action, it's play acting. USC runs a play acting defense. They're acting. They're acting like they're playing. They're really not. It's a play acting defense, not play action. Jesus, what a joke. What a joke. Florida better do something with the ball this time. It looks like Utah's done found something with this other quarterback they just put in. This other quarterback that Utah's done put in, he's like a smaller version of Anthony Richardson. If Anthony Richardson could complete a pass, which he can't, but if he could. Will Eubanks, thank you for the super chat. He says, extend Sunbelt Billy. Yeah, I'm all for giving Sunbelt Billy a lifetime contract at this point. Junkyard Dog, thank you for the super chat. He says, took a little time to listen to Utah's Locked On podcast. They seem really confident that this backup has led the offense before, and he's showing it. Yeah, but that's Barnes, I think, is the one you're talking about. That was the other quarterback that just scored there. They played two quarterbacks. They played that Barnes, who started the game. He appears to be more of like a pocket passing QB. And then this other quarterback they just put in that scored that touchdown, Johnson, he appears to be more of like a scrambler type QB. Brian Brenner, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida's in mid-season form, complete dumpster fire. Yeah, here's the thing. Florida was a complete dumpster fire last year. They were horrible. I mean, just an absolutely abysmal team. But they beat Utah. I mean, Utah is Sunbelt Billy's best win of his career. So if they can't even beat Utah this year, they might well hang it up. Look, I've been saying since, what did I do to my leg, man? I think when I was hopping around, I told y'all not to get me started on that damn Lincoln Riley shit, man. Now I done did something to my leg, man. Y'all got me hopping around about Lincoln Riley. But I done told y'all since January, Florida's beating Tennessee by, I mean, Tennessee's going to beat Florida by 30, I think. I don't even think that game's going to be close. I really don't. Man, y'all done got me hurt my whole damn left side, man. Y'all done got me, I'm 45 fucking years old, and y'all got me hopping around in here about Lincoln fucking Riley. You know what? It's pretty fucking sad when you gotta warm up and do stretches and shit before watching a college football game, but I guess I'm getting to that age where that's what I'm gonna have to do. I guess I'm getting to the age now where I'm gonna have to fucking do warm-ups or calisthenics or some shit before I even watch a college football game, because y'all done got in here and got me so damn riled up about a game that ain't even on, a team that's not even playing, and y'all done got me now where I done hurt my whole left side. God dang. Still 3-0 Minnesota up over Nebraska. Mike Luca, good to see you in here, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I bet the money line on Florida. Looks like my rent ain't getting paid. Mitch Griffiths looking amazing. Go Deeks. Hey, he's a Wake Forest fan. Good to see you in here, Mike. Joseph N.R. says, got one more, then I'll leave Ohio State alone. Next time they say they are royalty, they are 0-1 versus Air Force, lost 23-11. Well, yeah, that's poverty. 2nd and 10 for Minnesota. Nowhere to go on the ground. 3rd and long coming up for them. Millennial Diamond, thank you again for the super chat. He says, got to sing that Sunbelt song. Well, I can tell you what I'll do just for you. Just because I like you. Just because I like you, I'm going to do something for you. I don't normally do this. Where's this at? Don't tell me I don't have it. Where the hell is it? Don't tell me I don't have it. How in the hell? Hold on. Where is it? Is it in here? I can't damn find it. See what y'all do to me? You see what y'all do to me? Where the hell would it be? Oh, is it here? Here you go. Just for you, buddy. Just because I care about you. Okay? Here you go. Since you're going on and on about the Sunbelt Billy song, here you go. You've been dribbling all down your leg. Florida fans, get on your knees and fucking beg. Now all you wanna do is just lose.
your games, Billy. All you wanna do is just lose your games, Billy.
There you go, just for you. Uh-oh, Mertz going deep. Nobody home. Receiver gave up on the play. Falls incomplete. That was a first down pass. Mertz got absolutely destroyed after he got rid of the ball. 2nd and 10 coming up for Florida. 6.5 minutes to go till halftime. Utah 14, Florida 3. Trying to get caught up on these super chats. I didn't forget about them, but also trying to watch the game. So Millennial Diamond, thank you for the super chat. And there you go, Sunbelt Billy song for you. Also in 2. Brock Tony, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm really torn on whether Florida, Vandy, or Missouri will be the worst team in the East this year. Looks like Florida. And it could be. I mean, hell, Vandy beat Florida last year. Mertz back to throw on 2nd and 10. Running for his life. Sacked. A loss of about 10 yards. Wow, this guy's about as mobile as a pair of concrete shoes. This Graham Mertz. Jesus Christ. He might as well be out there in a manual wheelchair. What is he doing? He's less mobile than BVD. Look at this. Look at this. Wow, shoestring tackle too. Come on, Graham Cracker. 3rd and 22 coming up for Florida. Boy. 3rd and 22 and Graham Mertz is your only hope. Incomplete pass. 4th and 22. Florida's going to have to kick it away. Wow. Wow. Jeez, Florida, come on. Almost 1,500 people in here. Time to get them likes up again. We're at 600 and something. I know we can get to 800. Get me to 800 likes. Get Lou to 800 likes. What are we doing? 4th and 22. Florida's going to punt it away. Here's the kick. Goes out it. Wow, what a terrible kick. Out of bounds around midfield. Horrible kick. Horrible kick. I'm telling. Do any of y'all have a scratch and sniff phone? If you have a scratch and sniff phone, you should start scratching it right now. I've been cooking boiled peanuts in there for like the last 3.5 hours. It smells unbelievable in here. It smells like college football in here. Shout out to boiled peanuts. Of course, you already know, but I've got the best nuts in town. I've got the best nuts in town. That's a fact. Sunbelt Billy, you better slow down. Thank you, Sonny, Super Denny Gumper. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Let's get caught up on some of these. Green with Envy, thank you for the super chat. Lucas Sharp, thank you for the super chat. He says, if Florida defense is playing like this against Utah, imagine what Tennessee is going to do to them. I've been predicting a 30-point Tennessee win over Florida since February, and I haven't seen anything in the last hour that's made me change my mind on that. I think Tennessee's going to embarrass Florida. Michael Grubbs, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou needs to get stretched out like the USC secondary. Yeah, I know that's sad, but man, some of y'all are young and y'all don't understand. Y'all are going to be old and rickety one day like me, and then you'll get it. But I get to get in here and getting mad and yelling at these damn TVs and yelling at y'all in the comment section, and y'all get me all hyped up about Lincoln friggin' Riley again. Y'all got me hopping around in here like a cracked out kangaroo. I done hurt I did something to my whole left side. I'm gonna have to start warming up before these games. Big 12 Ute says, let me on at halftime to counter Octavian. All right. We'll do that. Christian Haynes, thank you for the super chat. He wants to know where Octavian is. Octavian said he's going to come on at halftime, so hopefully he does. Hopefully he does. We'll see. I talked to him this morning. He said he would come on the show at halftime and give his first half thoughts. So we'll see. 1st and 10 for Utah. They're going to keep it on the ground. Picks up 2, maybe 3 yards across midfield. Utah's got great starting field position on account of that terrible ass punt. What am I doing? 2nd and 8 for Utah. Let's see. Who is this? Darian, thank you for hitting the Cash App link, buddy, to help support the show. He says, looks like Billy's team don't believe in the system. I don't know if Billy's got a system, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that Billy Napier's got a system. You know what the Florida fans are going to do? If Florida gets blown out in this game, they're going to give up all hope on this season. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to stick around, but all they're going to do is talk about DJ fucking Lagway. Like anybody really gives a fuck about the guy will be a freshman next year if he stays committed to Florida. He'll be a freshman in 2024, which means he ain't playing next. So we'll have to listen to all year them talk about DJ Lagway and some recruit for next year who's not even going to play next year. So really they're going to be spending all this season 2023 talking about somebody who might play in 2025. 3rd and 4, and Utah is playing bully ball off right tackle, and they just dragged a pile of Florida players 6 or 7 yards and picked up a first down. Octavian is somewhere drinking bleach, says Kevin Hackshaw. That better not be true. Christian, thank you for the super chat. He says, will Clemson and FSU man up and join the SEC this decade? Well, they'd join now if they could. They can't. They can't get out of the ACC. They'd love to be in the SEC. They can't get out of the ACC. They're locked into that grant of rights. They're going to have to go to court and try to fight their way out of that. Uh-oh, double pass for Utah. Wide open. Touchdown if he catches it. Oh, my God. Overthrew it. That was a double pass. Utah pulling out all the tricks. They threw a hitch pass to the wide receiver on one side of the field. And that wide receiver threw a pass to a wide receiver streaking down the sideline all the way on the other side of the field. And the wide receiver was wide open, would have walked into the end zone, but they overthrew him by about 3 or 4 yards. Florida caught a break there. Florida caught a big break there. Junkyard Dog says, you think we can still swing that Florida for Florida State trade if this keeps up? Octavian is getting connected to the surround sound. 2nd and 10 for Utah now on the Florida 33-yard line. Shotgun back to throw. Bryson Barnes looks, scrambles out to his right. Going to take off running, nowhere to go. Pushed out of bounds, might have lost a yard. It's going to be 3rd and long for Utah. Justin M. I'm doing my best to get caught up on these super chats, guys. I just don't want to miss any of the game either. But I will get to them all, I promise. Justin M says, we made it through the offseason, Lou. Sweet shirt, by the way. Go Dogs. Yeah, go Dogs. Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I am the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. That's just a fact. Nick Koenig, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida is poverty. It's almost sad. Almost. Well, yeah. Almost. 3rd and 10 for Utah. Shotgun back to throw. Florida sends a blitz. Utah picks it up. Pass complete. Nope, dropped it. Wide open. Wide open receiver with a ton of room to run. It hit him right in the hands and he dropped it. Wow. 4th and 10. Let's see what Utah does here. Jordan Sherrill says, I'm allergic, Lou, so I die. Well, we don't want anybody dying around here. We don't want anybody dying around here. Harlan Harris, thank you for the super chat. He says, the offseason champs are quiet now. Go Noles, baby. Love you, Uncle Lou. Headed to Orlando tomorrow. FSU versus LSU. Man, you're going to that game? I'm jealous. I think that's the best game of the week. Long field goal attempt for Utah. Kick is up. And it's good. Plenty of leg on that one. Utah 17, Florida 3, 2:52 to go in the second quarter. Jediah Hooten says, thankful for football being back. Go Vols. Yeah, good luck to Tennessee. I bet Tennessee minus 28 against Virginia on Saturday, so I need Tennessee to roll on Saturday. I need Tennessee to win by more than 28. Trading, thank you for the super chat. Brock Tony, thank you for the super chat. He says those Florida commits finna decommit after Tennessee. Well, that is a risk. I mean, that's a risk for every team, really. You get all these players committed every summer, but they can't sign until December. So we'll see if Florida loses any of those high-value recruits that they were able to trick into committing to them over the summer. Hoghead, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida has unraveled since the missed field goal, which was set up by jumping off sides on 4th and 1. Yep, that's right. Multiple false start penalties for Florida have hurt them in this game, but that one in particular. Voltard Representative Expert 285. Thank you for the super chat. He says, the official Voltard representative has returned. Cheers to what will be a great season, and go Vols. Yep, good luck Saturday. I don't think y'all will need any luck to win the game, but Uncle Lou needs you to win by more than 28. Still 3-0 Minnesota up on Nebraska. Just no offense in this game at all. 44 seconds to go until halftime. Minnesota 3, Nebraska 0. Seth Wessinger, thank you for the super chat. He says, LOL, I'm 23. I'll enjoy moving freely while I can. Yeah, take advantage of your youth. Take it from me. I'd do anything to go back to being 23 years old again. Enjoy your youth. Chance-tastic, good to see you in here. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Gators done shit in their nest already. Eggs covered in reptile feces. Jesus, that's a very descriptive super chat there. Extremely descriptive there. Yeah. Extremely descriptive there. Utah needs to put QB number 13 back in the game ASAP. Yeah, for those of you who maybe aren't watching the game, Utah has been playing multiple quarterbacks in this game. They started out with number 14, Bryson Barnes. And he looked okay, but other than that 70-yard touchdown pass they had, he kind of bogged down, or the offense kind of bogged down for a couple of series with him in the game. So they ended up switching him out and putting in this number 13, Johnson. And he appears to be more of like a mobile, athletic, scrambling type QB, whereas Barnes is more of a pocket passer. And it did seem to ignite the Utah offense. The last 2 scoring possessions Utah has had have come with him at QB. So we'll see how they handle the quarterback situation the rest of the game. Logan Idell, thank you for the super chat. He says, good morning, Uncle Lou. Love your show. Go Cox. Thank you, Logan. Good luck Saturday against North Carolina. I think that's going to be a really good game. A hard game to pick, too. ETN with the return for Florida on the kickoff out to the 30-yard line. Florida will take over their 1st and 10. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game Saturday night, South Carolina and North Carolina. I think it's a hard game to pick. I ended up going with North Carolina, but, I mean, it's a 2.5-point spread. That thing could go either way. I could just as easily have picked South Carolina, but I ended up going with UNC. South Carolina's run defense concerns me. I know everybody wants to talk about Drake May and Spencer Rattler in that game, but North Carolina was a pretty good running team last year. They returned their top 3 running backs from last year, and of course Drake May can hurt you with his legs too. And I just wonder if South Carolina's going to be able to slow them down on the ground. So that's why I ended up going with North Carolina, but I think it's going to be a hell of a game. Play action pass for Graham Mertz, incomplete. Can't even complete a 4-yard pass out into the flat. It's unreal. Unbelievable. 2nd and 10. Florida offensively, they looked like the bad news. You remember the movie The Bad News Bears, but they were a Little League baseball team? It's like instead of a Little League baseball team, if the Bad News Bears were a Power 5 team. Florida. 2nd and 10 for the Gators. Pistol formation. Now the running back moves up next to Mertz. So Mertz shotgun. Wide receivers are bunched. Play action pass. Mertz sits in the pocket. Under pressure. Sacked. Eaten alive. Mertz had time. I mean, you got to get rid of the ball. I mean, it wasn't. The protection did break down, but he had 3 or 4 seconds in the pocket. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. You got to get rid of it right then. Yeah, just eaten alive. Eaten alive. I don't know if Mertz is going to make it through this game. Mertz might not. I'm not kidding. Mertz might not make it through this game. He's getting beat up bad. 3rd and 19. Florida going the wrong way. All the way back to their own 20-yard line. Mertz in a shotgun again. 4-man rush for Utah. Playing coverage here on 3rd and 19. Complete underneath to a crossing route. And the... I swear. Are y'all watching this shit? Florida wide receiver makes the catch. There's not a Utah defender within 15 yards of him. He just falls down. Tackled by the grass monster. Literally just tripped over his own feet. Falls down. 5-yard gain. 4th and 15. Florida's going to be punting back around their own end zone again. What a fucking joke. Pete Kaufman, thank you for the super chat. He says, imagine if Rising was playing. This would be 35-3. And yes, SC's first loss to Utah last year was a fluke. The refs bailed them out. But yes, their defense is ass. Well, it's not a fluke when you lose to a team twice. So, I mean, they blew you out the second time. So, yeah, I don't think Utah beating Southern Cal is a fluke at all. Jedediah Hooten, thank you for the super chat. He says Tennessee will win 65-10. Wow, that'd make me happy. I just need them to win by 28. All right, 1st and 10 for Utah following that Florida punt. Utah's up 17-3 over the Gators. They kicked a field goal on their last possession. We've got, what do we got? 1 minute to go. About a minute to go. Is that right? Until halftime. Brian Legere, thank you for the super chat. What do you think Octavian is doing right now? Yelling and screaming. Crossing route complete over the middle for Utah. Picks up about 8 yards. Under a minute to go now. Utah does have all 3 timeouts remaining. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. I don't expect Florida to use any here. Florida's just trying to get out of here down 14 at half. Florida got the ball to start the game, too. So, if Utah scores here and they get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, Florida's in a rough spot. A rough spot. Utah could be looking at back-to-back possessions here if they play this right. Crawdad Watson. What's up, Crawdad? Good to see you in here. More Vol fans in here than the Lot Lizards. You know, there's been a lot of Tennessee fans around this channel for a long time. Really, I think it goes back to 2016. I was streaming, just like I'm doing right now. I was doing that back in 2016 when Georgia and Tennessee had that back-to-back Hail Mary game where Georgia hit a Hail Mary to go ahead with 30 seconds to go. Kicked off to Tennessee, and then they hit a Hail Mary to win the game 30 seconds later. And ever since that game, I've had a lot of Tennessee fans around here. 2nd and 2. Now for Utah, they used their first timeout. 57 seconds to go. Barnes in the game, throws underneath, complete to the 45-yard line, picks up a first down. So clock will stop while they move the chains. 1st and 10 for Utah in their own 45. They need about another 30 yards to attempt a field goal. Back to throw again all day. Complete, short, again, right at midfield. Receiver caught the ball with his knee down. So down right away. 2nd and 5 at midfield. Billy Boy, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida's like Georgia Tech. Won't have a program in 2040. Now, come on. I don't believe that now. I don't believe that now. Utah took another timeout. So Utah's down to their last timeout. 40 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 5, and they've got the ball at midfield. They need about another 15 to 20 yards to attempt a field goal. Colby Davis, thank you for the super chat. He says, love the channel, Lou. All love from the best G5 team in the country. Go Troy, the Trojans, and go Dogs. You a Troy fan? Send me a Troy helmet. I don't have one. No. I don't have a Troy helmet. Send me a Troy helmet. My P.O. box is in the description of the video. Going deep into double coverage. Wow, lucky that wasn't picked off. Terrible decision by Barnes to make the throw that time. The receiver was blanketed by 2 Florida defensive backs. And luckily for Utah, both of these Florida defensive backs have hands like feet. And because that thing should have been intercepted. That should have been a pretty easy interception. Wow. Both Florida players bobbled it. Wow. Joshua Bro? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But hell, I didn't name you. So, Sunbelt Billy FTL. What's that mean? Pass complete behind the line of scrimmage for Utah. No gain. 4th and 5, and that's probably going to be the last play of the half. There's 20 seconds to go. 4th and 5. Maybe Utah calls a timeout and throws a Hail Mary into the end zone here. I don't know. I think Florida called a timeout to keep them from doing the Hail Mary. Good timeout there by Sunbelt Billy. B Creepy says, Florida embarrassing the SEC for the second time, shaking my head. Is Florida really about to lose back-to-back games to the Pac-12? Now that's hard to justify that. They lost to Oregon State in a bowl game. In fact, they got blowed out. Wasn't that game 30-3? They lost to Oregon State. It was a blowout. I know that. And it looks like they're on their way to losing to Utah here. That would be back-to-back losses for Billy Napier to Pac-12 teams. Plus, I know they lost to Florida State the week before that, so what would this be, their 3rd loss in a row? Wow. Will Florida ever win a game again? I don't know. Jonathan Moxley, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida equals diarrhea. Is that true? Utah's going to punt it away. Wow, 9-iron shot lands on the 1-yard line, spins backwards to the 9-yard line. Utah downs it there. 9 seconds to go. Guarantee you Florida does nothing but come out here and take a knee. 0% chance they let Graham Mertz drop back and try to throw a pass here with 9 seconds to go. It's not going to happen. Backed up on his own 9-yard line. No chance. But you're about to see Florida take a knee, and we're going to go to half 17-3. Not even Sunbelt Billy is dumb enough to let Graham Mertz attempt a pass with 9 seconds to go in the second quarter, backed up on their own 9-yard line. Not even Billy Napier's that stupid. Where the blank is Octavian? He said he's going to come on at halftime, so we'll see. Got to be a Troy fan. I'm a freshman here, but I'm a dog at heart. I get that, Colby. I get that. Yeah, Graham Mertz takes a knee, and that's going to be it for the first half. Utah 17. Florida 3. Also halftime, Minnesota and Nebraska. 3-0 Minnesota's on top. No offense at all in that Minnesota-Nebraska game. That's why I really haven't talked about it much. Nebraska did get down close to the end zone at one point, but they threw an interception. And other than that, it's it's been absolutely nothing. Miles Brown says, so glad to see you back, Lou. You're the best. Thank you, Miles. Good to see you in here too, buddy. Brock Tony, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, if Florida loses this game, it would be 4 losses in a row. Vandy, Florida I forgot about Vandy. I forgot about Vandy. Oh, my God. Okay. Forgot about Vandy. Wow. Paul Leonardi, thank you for the super chat. He says, this year Georgia beats Florida so badly they run Sunbelt Billy out of Gainesville. I don't think he's going to get fired this year. I think Sunbelt Billy is getting fired next year. I don't think he's getting fired this year. Mertz for Heisman. Yeah. Should we check the stats? Here goes the stats. Graham Mertz, 8 of 14. 113 yards. Guess how many yards rushing Florida has? Keep in mind, Florida's a running team. Now, I tried to tell the Florida fans they weren't going to be able to run the ball this year like they did last year because the offensive line is gone and they don't have Anthony Richardson. Take a guess how many rushing yards Florida has in the first half. Take a guess how many rushing yards Florida has in the first half. 19. 19. Absolute poverty. Absolute poverty. Utah's got 250 total yards. Florida's got 130 total yards. So Utah pretty much doubling Florida up on yards. Just absolutely embarrassing. Time I 845 says, I know it's Kent State, but UCF and JRP looks good. I don't know what JRP is. Mel Brew, thank you for the super chat. He says, isn't it good to be from the great state of Georgia? Finally our time. Keep going, Lou. Thank you, Mel. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. All right, it's halftime. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Let's see, what do I want to do here? We'll do this. There you go. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, and I'll be right back.
Long weekends are for you time. You installing, you painting, you organizing, you washing, and you saving. Do Labor Day your way by shopping at the Home Depot.
Riddick, graduate student from Glen Allen, Virginia, will take the snap and looking to pass on first down. He will go for the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown. He finds Joel Felder. Felder, the 5'10 junior, played previously at Florida International with the touchdown.
LSU, Florida State, Sunday, September 3rd on ABC.
Now that NFL Sunday Ticket is on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can sign up in minutes. No 2-year contract or dish needed. It's never been easier to be a fan. Well, kind of. Sign up now.
There's the mesh point. Picked. Griffiths throws, intercepted. And it's coming back the other way. Caleb Curtin, pick 6. He looks off to his left, comes back, and Curtin's right there in the middle. Just kind of hides behind the offensive line, jumps up, and then boom, right there.
NFL Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube. So that fantasy team you made up from multiple teams in multiple cities that's kept you up multiple nights can all be watched with Multiview. Sign up now.
Quite upset about the media not asking them too many questions. I believe Charlotte is picked last to finish in the preseason polls in the American.
Yep, we talked to him about that. Underneath, wide open, Malachi Jones darts in, touchdown Tulsa.
And James, we talked about Cardell Williams getting comfortable in the pocket right there.
LSU, Florida State, Sunday, September 3rd on ABC.
Is this your plan to watch the game today?
I have to watch my neighbor's NFL Sunday Ticket.
It's not your best plan, but you know what it is? My plan from Verizon.
Football season is here. Get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube TV on us, a $449 value. Plus, get a free Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 5, only on Verizon.
This game does not feel like it's in hand, but if their offense executes, they're in good shape. How about this explosion run? Buckley up the far sideline, still on his feet. Inside the 10. Holy cow.
LSU, Florida State, Sunday, September 3rd on ABC.
Oh, yeah, good morning. Good morning. Good morning! Uncle Lou's back for you. How your mom and them? But mama doing good? Good. Good. Did y'all enjoy the first half? I did. I mean, maybe well, I was about to say maybe we'll at least get a good game, Nebraska and Minnesota. It's obviously not a good game. There's no offense at all, but maybe that game will at least end up being close. And look, we've done a lot of laughing at Florida in the first half, but let's be real. We've all been watching college football a long time. Octavian never showed up. Did Octavian ever show up in the chat? Octavian never showed up, huh? Wow. I thought he was a man of his word. Oh, Octavian is here? All right, hold on. I'll put Octavian on. This is only for Octavian. Hold on. Hold up. Hey. All right. You hear, Octavian? This is only for Octavian. If anybody else clicks it, I'm not putting you on. You'll just be wasting your time in the back room. But Octavian, if you're here, click that link and we will put you on. If you're here, click that link and we'll put you on. All right, I did a halftime video. It should be uploaded in 1 minute. 1 minute. If y'all want to check it out. All right, here's Octavian. Buddy. Hello? Buddy. What in the actual fuck, dude? Octavian. Octavian. I hear you breathing. Octavian.
Hello?
Yeah.
I'm on now.
Yeah, you're on.
Here we go. Man.
What's going on?
This is the worst first half I have ever seen the Florida Gators ever play. This is the worst.
Shout out to Sunbelt Billy or no?
No shout out to Sunbelt Billy. No shout out to him.
Florida doesn't even have 20 yards rushing in the first half, sir. Can you explain that?
Oh, man.
Graham Mertz can't move from here to there. Can you explain that?
Our offensive line looks horrible. Our offensive line looks horrible. Graham Mertz looks horrible. I've been the horse. My voice is hoarse, yelling at the TV. This is. I just don't know, man. I've never seen this look that bad.
Yeah. Defense,
our defense is actually, the run defense is doing pretty good, but we're just slow. Our defense is just totally slow. I don't know what's going on. Defensive secondary, soft as cotton. Wow. Tennessee might beat us by goddamn 60 if we keep playing like this. This is unfucking believable.
Yeah.
Fucking Graham fucking Mertz. We need to start Max Brown the next quarter, the next half.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try something.
I've seen enough of Graham Mertz. They need to put him on the bench. I don't know.
Let me ask you this: are either of y'all's other quarterbacks mobile? Because because y'all's pass protection is terrible, and Graham Mertz can't get out of the way. You need somebody that can escape that pressure.
We have Max Brown. He's a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah,
that's who we need to put in the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Graham Mertz. To be honest with you, Graham Mertz is not even going to finish the season.
He might not finish this game. He might. I mean, he's getting destroyed.
Yeah, man.
So we'll see. All right, Octavian. Thanks for coming on, buddy. I'm gonna let you go and get back to watching the second half. But
go Gators, and hopefully we come back and beat them. Hopefully.
All right. Good luck, buddy. There you go, Octavian. What you have there, you're literally watching a Florida man embrace reality in real time. You just heard a Florida man accepting and embracing reality in real time. Octavian thought Florida was going 10-2. If y'all don't know who Octavian is, I do a call-in show every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9. He's been calling in for a long time. He's a good guy and just a diehard Florida fan. But he thought Florida was going 10-2 this season and winning the SEC East. I'm going to say no on that. I'm going to say no on that. But shout out to Octavian for coming on. He's a man of his word, I guess. Kyle Jonas, thank you for the super chat. He says, hey, Lou, just wanted to let you know Octavian is here. Also, go Dogs. Thank you. Seth, thank you. Octavian is here. Thank y'all for the super chats. I know it's Kent State, but UCF and GRP looks good. Yeah, okay, so we're caught up on the super chats. Okay. All right, did y'all enjoy the first half at least? Look, I've been watching football a long time. I'm not saying Florida can't come back and win this game. They're only down. Look, they're down 2 touchdowns, but but they could have 2 touchdowns, right? If that field goal they made, if they score a touchdown on that drive instead of a field goal, that's 7. If they score a touchdown on the drive they missed the field goal on, that's 14, and then it's a 17-14 game. So I'm not going to. Huge kick return for Nebraska to start the third quarter, all the way across midfield, across the 40 to the 35. By far the best play of the day for anybody with a Nebraska helmet on comes on the opening kickoff of the second half. The Nebraska man runs it all the way down into Minnesota territory to the 35. So Nebraska are going to have great field position here to start the second half on the Minnesota 35. Tennessee has magically handed our dumpster fire of a program fire to Florida. Welcome to the suck. Yeah, Florida is going down a very similar road to what Tennessee went down over the last 12 years with the hiring and firing coaches every 3 years. That sets any program back. One bad hire can set you back, but when you end up with multiple bad hires in a row, it compounds the problem. And that's what happened to Tennessee, because what happens is, by the second or third bad hire, you become such a bad program that no good coach wants to come there. So you end up having to take a chance on an unknown, right? Tennessee tried that with Jeremy Pruitt, didn't work out. Second go around with Josh Heupel looks like might be a little bit more successful. Florida, golly, they've had, is this their 5th coach since Urban Meyer? You just can't be hiring and firing coaches every 3 years. A double pass by Nebraska. No, a triple pass and a touchdown? You got to be kidding me. Turn it to the Nebraska game right now if you're not watching. It's on Fox. And explain this play to me. A triple pass. Quarterback passes it to running back. Running back passes it back to quarterback. Quarterback throws touchdown pass to wide receiver. Yeah, quarterback, running back, back to the quarterback. Quarterback fumbles the ball, picks it up, throws a touchdown pass. That might be the wildest play you'll see this weekend. And the play stands too. No flags, no reviews, no nothing. Extra point is up and it's good. And just like that, Nebraska takes the lead over Minnesota 7-3. Wow, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable start to the second half by Nebraska. They returned the kick all the way down to the Minnesota 35. Then they come out with a triple pass and score their first points of the year to take the lead over Minnesota 7-3. Wow. Don't know what else to say there. Also in 2. Addition to that as well. Wow. Shout out to Nebraska. They've taken the lead 7-3. Second half just getting underway here between Florida and Utah. Florida got the ball to start the game, so Utah will be getting the ball to start the second half. They're up 17-3. Welcome to the stream. If you just clicked on or you just joined, this is Uncle Lou here. Yep, good morning and that. It is me, Uncle Lou, live on LouTube for you. Watching Florida, Utah, and Nebraska, Minnesota. Florida's kick goes through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Utah is going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 25. First possession of the third quarter, up 17-3. Let's see. Make sure y'all have hit the thumbs up if you... Oh, can we get to 1,000 thumbs up? We're at 900 and something likes. Can we get to 1,000 likes? It's pretty rare I get to 1,000 likes on this channel. Let's see if we can hit 1,000 likes. That would be really good. If for some reason anybody's watching that hadn't hit the thumbs up yet, please hit the thumbs up. Let's see if we can get it to 1,000 likes. That doesn't happen very often around here. That doesn't happen very often on a channel my size. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes. Why they keep promoting LSU versus Florida State so much? Because it's the biggest game of the week between 2 top 6 or 7 teams. It's pretty obvious why they're promoting it. It's a huge game. Huge game. 1st and 10, Utah takes it inside zone. Picks up 3 or 4 yards. 2nd and about 7 coming up for Utah now. UF is the new Florida International. Wow. I do have an FIU helmet. I've got all the Florida schools. I've got FIU, FAU, Florida A&M, UCF, South Florida, and then Florida, Miami, and Florida State. I've got all the Florida schools. Brandon Black says, hey, Uncle Lou, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. Hey, we got to 1,000 likes. Shout out to the chat. Giant W for the chat, getting me to 1,000 likes. I really appreciate that. Yeah, a channel my size, we don't get to 1,000 likes very often around here. So giant W to the chat. A giant, huge win for the chat. Third down coming up for Utah. 3rd and 4 on their own 31. They've got Johnson back in at quarterback, that scrambling QB. He throws, nearly intercepted. Wow, that would have been a huge play for the Florida defense. As it is, it falls incomplete, but wow, could have been an interception. A slant, great coverage by the Florida DB. Wow. Wow, Utah catches a break there. That would have been a huge momentum swinger right there. 4th and 4. So the Florida defense does its job to start the second half. Holds Utah to a 3-and-out. Here's the punt. Kick is away. Oh, wow, a huge punt. Fielded inside the 5. Hit and dropped at the 7. Why did you field that, dummy? My God, man. This Florida return guy standing on the 20. The punt goes over his head. He turns around, catches it center field style over the back of his head on the 3-yard line. You never catch a punt inside the 5, dummy. Let that thing go into the end zone, man. Instead of a touchback, now Florida's backed up on their own 6-yard line. Boy, Sunbelt, does Florida even have a special teams coach? This is absolutely humiliating. My God. Middle school, they teach you that in Pee Wee football. Don't field a punt inside the 5, dummy. Pistol formation, Graham Mertz, handoff, off right tackle gains 1 yard. 2nd and 9 coming up from Florida. Wow. Wow. Why would you catch that punt? That don't make no damn sense. That really don't make no damn sense. Yeah, we can get a 5-star dummy on that. Here's Florida Special Teams Award.
5-star dummy.
That's the Florida Special Teams Award. Empty backfield, Mertz, shotgun, back to throw, gets rid of it, caught short and out of bounds. Picks up 2 or 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd and about 6. A short out route right on the sideline, caught, immediately pushed out of bounds. 3rd and about 6 coming up for the Gators, backed up in their own end zone here. 3rd and 6 from the, 11-yard line? 3rd and 6 from their own 11. 4 wide, 2 up top, 2 on the bottom. Ricky Pearsall now goes in motion up top, so 3 up top, 1 on the bottom. Running back standing next to Mertz in a shotgun. Back to throw. Looks to his left. Gets rid of it. Oh, intercepted! Tip drill! Wow! Man, see, bounce of ball. Shout out to that half-melted bowl of vanilla ice cream that calls himself Josh Pate. But that's what you call a bob play. Bounce of ball. Utah has the ball. Throws a terrible pass. Gets tipped. Falls incomplete when Florida probably should have intercepted it. Florida gets the ball, throws a pass, tipped, right into the hands of a Utah defender. A double tip drill, right into the hands of a Utah defender. Utah's going to have the ball 1st and 10 on about the 15-yard line. Wow. 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 Where's B.A.? She's not here right now. She's not here right now. She'll be here tomorrow. She's not here right now. She'll be here tomorrow and all weekend, but she's not here today. She's not here tonight. Elijah Allen says, I can hear it now. It was the hurricane. Woo. Florida fans are 5-star dumb. Are they going to blame the hurricane? Wow. They might. They might. Greg says, actually, we don't have a special teams coach, and he's a Florida fan, so I'm assuming he knows. And I'm going to tell you something, Greg. It shows, buddy. It shows. If you don't have a special team coach, it shows. Number one fan of the youth. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Pee Wee football is better to watch than this trash. Are you sure you're the number one fan of the U? Are you positive? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Are you sure you're the number one fan of the U? If you are, can you explain this? How do you explain this? Do you have a trophy? Do you have a trophy that says you're the biggest fan? Because I do. Y'all know Coach Coop? Shout out to Coach Coop. He got me that. Coach Coop got me that a couple of years ago. Cade Klubnik, thank you for the super chat. Florida's looking good. Definitely going 10-2. Yeah. According to Octavian, right? According to Octavian, they are. UF is the new Florida International. I read that. Biggie Bull says, why they keep promoting LSU versus Florida? You know, Octavian. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on the super chats. Thank y'all for hitting the super chats, by the way, during the stream. That's I really appreciate y'all helping to support the show and the channel like that. That means a lot. Hope y'all are enjoying this first Thursday night of week 1, the 2023 college football season. Tonight's the first night of 5 straight days of football. I've got the streaming schedule scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but I'm going to be a busy bee the next 5 days. But I'm streaming right here on this channel tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, and Monday night. So tomorrow night, speaking of the Miami Hurricanes, I believe, play tomorrow night. So we'll be streaming during that game. Georgia Tech and Louisville play tomorrow night. A handful of games on tomorrow night. I'll be streaming right here on this channel tomorrow night. Sunday night, of course, is the LSU Florida State game. I'll be right back here on this channel streaming for that game. And then Monday night, we've got Clemson and Duke. So I'll be live streaming right here on this channel tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, and Monday night. Saturday, I do a live show every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Make sure y'all tune in for that, the college kickoff show. We have a really good time on that college kickoff show. We take a look at all the day's games, what time they come on, what channels they come on. We talk about what we're eating for game day food. We just have a good time. A couple hours, like 9 to 11 every Saturday morning. We just hang out and talk college football for a couple hours. Then at noon, I'm going to be doing a live stream over on my Patreon page. So I know a lot of you are members over on the Patreon page. You know how that works. On Saturday around 11:45 in the morning on my Patreon page, I will post a link. So you just go to the Patreon page about 11:45. You'll see that link. Click on it, and it will take you to the Patreon stream for all the noon games on Saturday, which, of course, includes TCU versus Colorado. And there's another one on, too. What's the other one on? Tennessee and Virginia. Those are the 2 big ones on at noon. So Patreon stream Saturday at noon. Make sure y'all check that out. Those of you who are members of the Patreon page. If you're not a member of the Patreon page, what are you doing? We have a good time on the Patreon stream every Saturday during the season. So if you want to check out the Patreon page, there's a link in the description of this video that'll take you there. Utah down to the 5-yard line now. 3rd and 4. From about the 5-yard line from Utah. They're up 17-3 in the red zone following a Graham Mertz interception that really wasn't his fault. Tipped off Ricky Pearsall's fingertips. The wide receiver fell right to a Utah player. 3rd and 4 from the 5. They can actually get a first down without scoring inside the 1-yard line. Back to throw. Looking all day to throw. Nowhere to go, though. Scrambles out to his right. He's going to take off running. Touchdown, untouched into the corner of the end zone for the quarterback. And that's not even their running quarterback. That's their pocket passing quarterback. Just absolutely humiliating for the Florida man. Absolutely humiliating. Getting blowed out by a 2nd and 3rd string Pac-12 quarterback team. Unacceptable, humiliating, and honestly downright degrading. Downright degrading. And Florida really needs to answer some tough questions for this performance here. They've had 8 months to prepare, and this is the product they're putting on the field. It's absolutely unacceptable. And if you want to know who's to blame, it's Billy Napier. Billy Napier handpicked Graham Mertz, and the guy is dumpster juice. I don't know any other way to describe it. He wasn't good at Wisconsin. I don't know what Billy Napier thought he was going to turn him into. But it hasn't been good. It hasn't been good for Florida. It hasn't been good offensively. It hasn't been good defensively. Special teams have been terrible. there's really not a single bright spot you can point to for Florida. And that's alarming. That's got to be alarming if you're a Florida fan. There's really appears to be nothing that Florida does well. Less than 20 yards rushing in the first half. Graham Mertz is terrible at quarterback. Their defense is getting lit up. Special teams have made multiple mistakes. There's really not a bright spot here for Florida. This is really worst case scenario. You're really watching the worst case scenario here for Florida. You're really watching the worst case scenario here. Matt McLaurin, thank you for the super chat. He says, just waiting for a shoe to fly if Florida ever makes a stop on third down. Oh, man. We don't want to get back to Florida throwing shoes like they did against LSU in 2020, do we? Jordan Sherrill, thank you for the super chat. He says, my Hogs play Florida and FIU. Sad to think FIU is going to be a more entertaining game to watch. Wow. You know you're down pretty bad, Florida, when the Arkansas man shows up to talk shit about you. Wow. Florida's down bad. Florida is down bad. The only thing I think down worse than Florida are their fans. The only thing I can think of that's down worse than Florida is most likely their fans. Elijah Allen, thank you for the super chat. He says, donation to locate Octavian. Go ahead and put his picture on a milk carton. He'll be like a fart in the wind come Tuesday. He called in at halftime, sir. We had him on the show here at halftime. He came on. He was not happy. He was not happy. 1st and 10 for Florida following the kickoff on their own 25. Play action pass. Graham Mertz looking, going deep downfield. Has a man wide open. It's Ricky Pearsall. And Florida's biggest offensive play of the day. They pick up about 30 or 40 yards. Is this just a blown coverage? Oh, yeah, got him with the okey doke. Wow. Ricky Pearsall hit the DB with the out and up move and completely shook the DB. He was wide open. Huge play for Florida. 1st and 10 on the Utah 35. Mertz in the pocket. Throws. Complete to Pearsall again. Another first down. Good for 12 this time. Right along that same sideline. Back-to-back first downs for Florida, and they're in business in the red zone. But they trail 24-3 in the third quarter. Number one fan of the U says, Florida is worse than Coach Coop's Miami hype rap videos. You don't like his diss track? Look, I've enjoyed some of Coach Coop's diss tracks. Did he really have to make a diss track about Miami of Ohio, though? That seems like he's scratching the bottom of the barrel there. Not sure you need to be making diss tracks about Miami of Ohio, but Coach Coop thought it was a good idea. It looks like Minnesota's going to get called for running into the punter here. Might result in a Nebraska first down. Nebraska's still up 7-3. Oh, roughing the kicker. That's going to be an automatic first down. So Nebraska's going to keep the ball. Not just running into the kicker. That was the bigger penalty, roughing the kicker. 15 yards, automatic first down. Nebraska's going to keep the ball. Voltard representative, thank you for the super chat. He says, got to get that Florida fan you had FaceTime you a few months back and get his thoughts. Florida on the ground, this time on 1st and 10. Picks up about a yard just inside the 20. It's going to be 2nd and 9 coming up for the Gators now. AJ, thank you for the super chat. He says, what you mean that pick wasn't Graham Mertz's fault? He threw that 4 feet behind the wide receiver, dummy. If a ball hits a wide receiver in the hands, he should catch it. If a ball hits a scholarship wide receiver in the hands, he should catch it. And it hit Ricky Pearsall in the hands, he should have caught it. 2nd and 7 for Florida. 4 wide. Hitch pass complete to Ricky Pearsall again. Tries to find an alley. Picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Looks like 3rd and 2 coming up for Florida now. Saban's bald spot. First down, Florida inside the 10, but there is a flag down. Saban's bald spot, thank you for the super chat. He says, who will be worse this year, Florida or Miami? Florida. Florida will be worse. Florida will be worse. Pete Kaufman, thank you for the super chat. That flag was on Florida, another illegal formation. So on third down, Florida picks up the first down inside the 10, but yet another penalty. So it was 3rd and 1 from the 13. They picked up the first down inside the 10, but illegal formation is going to back them up, and now it's 3rd and 6 from the 18. So Florida continues to shoot themselves in the foot. They've yet to score a touchdown. Empty backfield on 3rd and 6. Bunch formation of wide receivers. A jet sweep. Picks up 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be 4th and 3. I just realized the scoreboard is kind of screwed up. Let me see if I can get that fixed a little bit for you. There you go. Is that better? Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Pete Kaufman, thank you again for the super chat. He says, most annoying thing once this game is over is how everyone will say Florida sucks and Utah win means nothing. However, if they lost in the Pac-12 is trash and can't beat the 7th best SEC team. Fact, yeah. Yep. Sounds to me like you've been around the internet before. You know how the internet works. Yeah, you're exactly right. That's exactly how the internet works. That's exactly how the internet works. 4th and 3, Florida keeps the offense on the field. They really have no choice down 24-3. 4th and 3. Shovel pass, loses 2 yards. I don't know what in the fuck Florida's doing here. I don't know what in the app. I mean, this is fucking bad. Pete, I will say this. I agree with your comment. That's how the internet works. This is a terrible fucking... I've seen almost every game Florida's ever played for the last 25 years. This is fucking horrible. This is bad. This is bad. Now... The bright side for Utah, other than a good win, because this is a good win, Utah looks really good playing their 2nd and 3rd quarterback. And I don't think what's that tight end's name? Bruthy or Braith, whatever the fuck. What's the tight end's name? He's not playing either. Those are arguably your 2 best offensive players, Cam Rising and Queeth. Thank you. I don't think he's playing either. Am I wrong? But I don't think he's playing either. So, like, if you're a Utah fan watching this game, number 1, you're happy you got a win. Number 2, it's a win against an SEC team, and that's always brag-worthy. And we can say Florida's bad, which they are, but Florida was bad last year and beat you. So you're beating them. So it's going to be a good win for Utah either way. Where it gets even better is when you start looking, okay, now how many more weeks can we keep Cam Rising out? Who do y'all play next week? Who does Utah play next week? Baylor? When's Cam Rising coming back? You got to get Cam Rising back. You're going to have to get him back. Oregon, Southern Cal, Washington, UCLA, Oregon State. I mean, those are all teams that are capable of beating Utah. I'm not saying they're going to beat Utah, but those are good. All those teams are better than Florida. You got to get Cam Rising back. Got to get that tight end back. But Utah looks really good. Utah looks really good. Now, Florida's making a lot of mistakes, a lot of self-inflicted wounds, but that's not to take away from what Utah's doing. This is an impressive win for Utah. Muffin Man, thank you for the super chat. He says, Utah's 2nd QB also got injured. This is the 3rd and the 4th QB. Good point. That's a good point. Bean Supreme, thank you for the super chat. Lou, I wouldn't be surprised if we go 0-12 this year. I don't think you're going to go 0-12, but just like Uncle Lou told you, it's going to be your 3rd straight losing season, and next year is going to be your 4th straight losing season. Florida's not going to be any better next year, and Florida's schedule next year is harder than this year. So Florida had a losing record in 2021, a losing record in 2022. I've been telling you since January they're going to have a losing record in 2023. And I've been telling you since January they're going to have a losing record in 2024, and they are. They're going to have 4 losing seasons in a row. So Florida's going to have to decide: do you want to keep Billy Napier into 2025 when he's going to be a losing record for 3 straight years? You had a losing record, Dan Mullins last year, 2021, fired him. Napier comes in 2022, losing record. Now we're in 2023, Napier's 2nd year. It's going to be another losing record. Utah fumbles, Florida's going to get it. Wow, another Bob. Bob again. How does Florida not get any of these turnovers? Utah is doing everything they can to give Florida the ball in the red zone. Look, quarterback back there playing hot potato with himself. Look, and that's a fumble too. Came out with his hand was going backwards, not forward, so that is a fumble. But look, the ball literally rolled right to him. Man, Florida can't catch a break, and Utah's catching all the breaks. Nick Koenig, thank you for the super chat. He says, highs Mertz. Yeah, something tells me we won't see that on Twitter anymore after this game. Utah keeps it on the ground on 2nd and 17. Running back stumbles and falls for no particular reason at all after a gain of about 3. 3rd and a mile coming up for Utah. Cade Klubnik, thank you for the super chat. He says, this is why Dabo fired Napier. Yeah, Billy Napier is one of the only coaches in 15 years or whatever it's been that Dabo Swinney has ever fired. Jonathan Moxley, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida is much worse than diarrhea. I was wrong. Yeah, called Florida diarrhea earlier. Now he's saying he's even worse than that. Somebody hide that account, please, whoever's spamming that. Don't even bother timing it out. Just hide it all together. Thank you. Thank you to the mods for taking care of that. 3rd and 13. Johnson back to throw. Complete. Screen pass. Doesn't work. Loses 2 yards. Utah's going to be punting from their own end zone. It's going to be 4th and a mile from like the 11-yard line. So Utah's punter is going to be standing in his own end zone to kick this one away. Washington can run, but he sucks at QB. Washington is his name? It's Johnson. If you're talking about that quarterback for Utah, it's Johnson. Lafayette says, now we got to hear the Pac-12 talk shit about the SEC. Thanks, Florida. Another booming punt, though. Sends the Florida man all the way back inside his own 30. Ricky Pearsall returns it across the 30 to the 32. That punter for Utah is no joke. That guy just punted the ball from his own end zone all the way down inside the other 30-yard line. Really flipped field position there. Florida's going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 32. 5:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Utah all over Florida, 24-3. And now the scoreboard's done fucked up again. What is this? How in the hell? How in the hell? NC State finally taking the lead by 10 over UConn. Nebraska still up 7-3 over Minnesota. Missouri all over South Dakota, 28-3. Tulsa up on Arkansas Pine Bluff. And UAB up on North Carolina A&T. Georgia plays UAB week 4. Georgia plays UT Martin this week. Ball State next week. Then South Carolina, and then UAB. That's Georgia's first 4 games this season. Jordan Sherrill, thank you for the super chat. He says, Billy reminds me of that Ted Lasso character coaching a football team when he has no idea how the sport works from what I'm seeing. Just sad. Yeah, I wasn't a believer in Billy Napier from the minute they hired him, and so far he's just done absolutely nothing but embarrass himself, Florida, their fans, me, and the entire SEC. And the sooner they can run him out on a rail, the better off Florida will be. I just don't think they're going to fire him in year 2. Generally speaking, I don't even believe in firing a coach in year 2. But I don't think he makes it past next year. I don't think Billy Napier makes it past 2024. I think he's a 3-and-done guy. Florida fans are going to blame the stadium elevation. They better not. They better not. Thank you, Valtard representative and Jordan Sherrill. Gerard, thank you for the super chat. He says, over under 17 years the next time Florida plays a road non-con north of the Mason-Dixon. I don't think this is technically north of the Mason-Dixon, but yes, this is Florida's first non-conference road game outside the state of Florida in over 30 years. And now you see why they don't do it. Because when they did it 30 years ago, they lost. Their last road game, their last non-conference road game outside the state of Florida was at Syracuse 30-something years ago, and they lost. And now they're going to lose to Utah. Oh. Billy Napier is the web-foot love child of Butch Jones and Jeremy Pruitt. If that's true, then the situation in Florida is even worse than I thought. Because you're talking about two total deadbeats there. You're talking about two complete and total deadbeats there. Wow. Unreal. Thank you, Elijah and Gerard, for the super chats. Utah is north of the Mason-Dixon. I don't know. I didn't even know that. I mean, the Mason-Dixon line goes all the way out west. I didn't even know that. That Vandy game looking like they might dog walk Florida now. Wow. I don't know. Vandy didn't look too good either. Against Hawaii last week. Furman wins 45-10. Looking forward to their game versus the Gamecocks, says Muffin Man. I do have a Furman helmet. There you go. Shout out to the Paladins. You know what? Ricky Pearsall's a one-man show. Now, let's give credit where credit is due. This Ricky Pearsall for Florida is a ball player. A probable NFL player, too. But outside of him, nothing. Absolutely nothing outside of him, though. Florida will probably get better each week, to be honest. Just Florida, or do you think every team gets better each week, right? So, look, man, there's no way to sugarcoat this guy. I don't know what you're trying to do there. Big play by Nebraska up to the 40-yard line. I don't know what you're trying to do. There's no sugarcoating this by telling me Florida will probably get better every team gets better as the season goes along. You know how much better Florida has to get to be relevant? It's not happening, buddy. Graham Mertz has been playing college football in the Power 5 for 4 years. What do you think? How much better do you think Graham Mertz is going to get from today till tomorrow, man? Stop it. Just stop. That's humiliating. I hate to do this, man.
5-star dummy.
1st and 10 for Florida across Utah territory in a 46. Under pressure. Wow, Graham Mertz just got bent in half again. He's crying to the referee, wants a penalty. Not going to get one. 2nd and 10. Where's the didgeridoo? Well, you know, what time is it even in Australia? I don't know. Didgeridoo's in Australia, so I don't know. He'll call in Tuesday. Look, that's the thing. Those Florida fans that have been calling in every week, they're not going to run and hide. Octavian's not going to run and hide. Didgeridoo's not going to run and hide. These Florida people, they're going to call back in. 2nd and 10 for the Florida man. Graham Mertz in the pocket, going deep again down the middle. Ricky Pearsall almost with a one-handed catch, falls incomplete though. Would have been a Sports Center highlight type play had he come down with it. Not a bad throw that time by Graham Mertz. Let's give a little bit of credit there. We've been riding Graham Mertz. That was a good throw there. Put it right where he had to put it, where only the receiver could catch it. Would have taken a miraculous catch, but falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 coming up for Florida. Florida 2 and 10. I'm calling it now, says Jordan. Yeah, I still don't know if they'll go 2 and 10. I would still put them at the 4 or 5 win mark. Handoff for Florida, gains 1 yard on 3rd and 10. 4th and 9 coming up for Florida in Utah territory. They got to go for it. 4th and 9 on the Utah 47 or so. You figure they got to go for it here. Coming up on 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. But they're a running team, Woo. Yeah, I tried to tell the Florida man all offseason. Yeah, you were a running team last year when you had a good offensive line and Anthony Richardson. You know, they're replacing 3 of those offensive linemen from last year, and Anthony Richardson is gone, and Graham Mertz just got sacked for a 15-yard loss on 3rd and 9. Jesus Christ, man. Here's the thing. Somebody needs to get a hold of Graham Mertz. He's not mobile at all. Graham Mertz can't escape his own shadow. Never mind actual defensive pass rushers. They got to tell Graham Mertz, you got 3 seconds, you got to get rid of the ball. You can't be in the pocket with the pump fakes and with the dancing around and shit, because he can't move to save his life. Like, they got to put him on a 3-second clock to get rid of the ball. I mean, this guy can't escape his own shadow, this Graham Mertz. Can you imagine Georgia's defensive line? Georgia's defensive line will destroy this Florida team I'm watching right now. Yeah, he looks back at his shadow on God, I'm going down. The meltdown on Florida's 24/7 board is glorious. They're realizing Uncle Lou was right, aren't they? A reverse for Utah results in a 10-yard loss. Boy, these offenses in the second half are absolute garbage. The only reason Utah scored is because Florida turned the ball over in their own red zone. Other than that, I think these offenses might have negative yards. College football fan, thank you for the super chat. He says, my Vols going to put on a clinic in the swamp. Yeah, I've been predicting a Tennessee 30-point win over Florida since January, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be changing my mind. This Florida team is bad. Real bad. How many coaches will Mertz get fired? Well, he's already got the Wisconsin man fired. 2nd and 19 passes complete along the sideline for Utah. Well short of a first down, though. 3rd down coming up. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the clock is ticking. Valtard representative, thank you again for the super chat. He says, maybe Florida can start chanting before games like Alabama. We all know when Alabama forgets to chant, they lose. Just a thought. Third and 11 for Utah. Thank you for the super chat, Chris. I'll read that in just a second. 3rd and 11 for Utah. Back to throw around midfield. Quarterback running for his life. Takes off. Picks up the first down, but it's going to come back holding. They're going to get Utah for holding. Chris, thank you for the super chat. He says, a 10 spot to buy Josh Pate an antidote to sip out of his chalice of mediocrity for picking both Georgia and Michigan to not win their conference or make the playoffs. Chalice of mediocrity. I like that. Chalice of mediocrity. Lucas Sharp, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, what are the chances Florida loses to Vandy for the 2nd year in a row? I didn't think the chances were very high of Florida losing to Vandy again, but the chances are higher than I thought they were. Vandy was bad too, though. Vandy looked bad too, so I don't know. Right now, I'd probably still pick Florida to win that game, but who knows? 3rd and 21 for Utah after the holding penalty. Back to throw, under pressure, gets rid of it, caught, but only at the line of scrimmage. No gain, might have gained a yard. Utah is going to punt it back to Florida. Utah 24, Florida 3, 1:52, and the clock is ticking in the third quarter. Does Napier get back on the plane? Yeah, I just don't think Florida is going to fire a second-year coach, especially not in week 1. I know you're halfway kidding, but I don't, I think Napier will still be the coach of Florida next year. Now, I think next year is his last year, but I do think they're going to give him 3 years. This is his 2nd year. The punter is a weapon. Yeah, Utah's punter is no joke. He's got a cannon foot. Look at that. Another 9-iron shot inside the 5-yard line. Downed at the 3. Ball hit at the 3-yard line and spun sideways. So Florida's going to have the ball backed up inside their own 5-yard line. There is a flag down. Let's see what this is now. What are they trying to do with this now? What's the penalty? BDS. Wow, thank you for the super chat. Very generous of you. I really appreciate that. The penalty is on Florida, half the distance to the goal. So it's only like a 2-yard penalty because they got the ball on the 4-friggin-yard line. BDS says, thank you for making it fun. Woke ESPN is blacked out on several cable networks. Florida has 0 McEnroe in their souls, and Napier is to blame. Yeah, somebody said earlier that there's some cable company has taken ESPN off the air over one of these contract disputes. And it sucks that they do it this way, but they always schedule their contract negotiations around the start of something big on ESPN, whether it's college football or whatever the case, because they know people are going to get mad about it, call the cable provider and complain and all that kind of thing. So it sucks that it happens, but I have YouTube TV. Florida throwing out of their own end zone complete. Nice play up the sideline, crossed the 20. up to the 24. So Florida gets out of the shadow of its own end zone with a nice first down play. I have YouTube TV, and they tried this shit last year. They took ESPN off, but it was off the air. It didn't affect any college football games. It went off the air like on a Thursday or Wednesday or something, and it was literally only off the air for like less than 24 hours. They resolved whatever the contract issue was, and ESPN was right back on YouTube TV, so I didn't miss any games. But it sucks that they time it to cause the most inconvenience possible. First down run for Florida results in a gain of nothing. 2nd and 10 coming up. That was a ETN with that run there. Were they not this bad in the spring game too? Yes, they were, which is why I turned their helmet upside down. Florida's helmet has been upside down. Florida's helmet's been sitting right here, upside down, just like this, since the spring game, because they looked this bad in the spring game. They looked that bad in the spring game. So I turned their helmet upside down, and I said, I'm not turning it over until they win a game. So today was their first chance. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Todd Mickens, thank you for the super chat. Lou, please tell my lady that Waffle House is fine dining. It is. Waffle House is amazing. Yeah. Waffle House is absolutely fine dining. I mean, I obviously don't know you or your lady friend personally, but it sounds like you might need to head for the hills, buddy. I wouldn't date a woman who doesn't appreciate the greatness of Waffle House. That's a red flag, buddy. I'm half kidding, obviously, but no, I love the Waffle House. The Waffle House, the awful waffle, the choking puke, whatever you want to call it. I love the Waffle House. I love Waffle House. Get you some hash browns, scattered, smothered, and covered. Cooked twice, though. That's the thing. When you go to Waffle House and you order the hash browns, you got to tell the cook to cook them twice. They know what that means. I don't like mushy hash browns. You tell the cook to cook them twice, and he'll make them extra crispy for you. They're a lot better. There's nothing worse than mushy hash browns. And if you don't tell them cook it twice, that's what you'll get. You'll get mushy hash browns. Maybe that's your lady friend's problem. Maybe she went up there and ordered hash browns and forgot to tell them to cook it twice, and they served her up some mushy hash browns, and now she's got the wrong idea. Take her back to the choke and puke. Get her the hash browns again, but this time tell the cook, say cook them twice, boss man, and he'll know what that means. He'll know what that means. It's down on Spectrum, says Big Papa. Yeah, Spectrum and I guess ESPN having some kind of contract dispute. HJB96X says, will you turn Florida's helmet over if they maybe beat something called McNeese next week or next Power 5 opponent? Power 5. Power 5. Colorado's the only helmet. The Florida helmet is upside down. The Alabama helmet is upside down. And the Colorado helmet is upside down. Those were the 3 worst teams I saw spring games. The 3 worst. So I turned their helmets upside down. In order to get turned back the right way, Florida and Alabama have to beat a Power 5 opponent. Colorado has to beat any opponent at all. So, like, Alabama could beat the ever-loving shit out of Middle Tennessee State. Their helmet's going to stay upside down. The first chance Alabama will have to get their helmet flipped right will be the Texas game in week 2. Colorado, any win for Colorado. Billy is gone if they start the season 0-6, says the Beast Bailey. Maybe. 2nd and goal for Nebraska. Jeff Sims back to throw, running for his life. Gets rid of it. Over the receiver's head in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. 3rd and goal coming up for Nebraska. 13 and a half minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Nebraska 7, Minnesota 3. And Nebraska trying to extend the lead here. Going to be a 3rd and goal from around the 10-yard line. Colorado underrated in your opinion? Colorado's going to be absolutely terrible, sir. They'll be lucky to win 3 games. They're absolutely horrendous. TCU might beat them by 40 tomorrow or Saturday. Colorado is just, they're going to be absolutely horrible. They probably have the worst offensive and defensive line in the entire Power 5. Florida students have to go to their 8 a.m.s tomorrow. Let's be real. Florida students turned this game off a long time ago. 2nd and 10 for Florida on their own 25. They're down 24-3. This will be the first play of the fourth quarter. Mertz back to throw. Caught underneath to a tight end. Hit right away and dropped after a gain of about 4. It's going to be 3rd and 6 now coming up for the Gators. Leroy, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. He says, we called it Wahoo back in the day, but I kept coming back for more. Double hash brown, smothered and covered. Yeah, can't beat that. Can't beat that. 3rd and 6 for Florida. 4 wide receivers. Mertz in a shotgun per normal. 1 running back there with him. I think it's ETN. Snap. Mertz back to throw. In the pocket. Looks. Fires. Incomplete. There's a flag down. They might get him for pass interference that time. Utah getting kind of handsy in the secondary. Malcolm Hillsman, thank you for the super chat. He says, I thought Alabama had to beat Tennessee for the helmet to flip back over. No, any Power 5 win. Any Power 5 win for Alabama. Any Power 5 win for Alabama. Jay Shipe says, R.I.P. Mr. Two Bits. That's a Florida reference, isn't it? Isn't that like, is that the Florida fight song or something? It's got the Two Bits thing's got something to do with Florida. I know that. Greg Brown, an Auburn man, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida man is so disgusted they turned it over to Urban Meyer Netflix special. You know what? Hold on. 1st and 10. I got something to say about that. 1st and 10. Graham Mertz by himself in the shotgun. No running backs. Back to throw. Gets rid of it. Caught. Hit right away and dropped. Gain of 3 or 4 on the play. So who remembers the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary called The U? It came out, I don't know, 10 years ago, right? That's all Miami fans talked about for years and years and years. Because their football teams, it's been terrible. I mean, Miami's been in the ACC for 19 years. They haven't never won it. How's that possible? They've been in the ACC for 19 years, 0 ACC titles. They've only ever even made the ACC title game once. Just an absolute terrible program for the last 20 years. But ESPN puts out a documentary about when they used to be good. Ricky Pearsall with a catch in the flat. Did he get the first down? Close. So ESPN puts out this documentary called The U, all about when Miami used to be good back in the 80s and 90s. Miami fans got all hyped up. They went around, they made it, we're doing good to you. That's all they talk about. That's Florida now. That's Florida fans now. All Florida fans are going to want to do is talk about Swamp King. Oh, the Netflix has a Swamp King special. Hey, Woo, I don't see Netflix making no Georgia special. What do you say about that, Woo? I don't say nothing about that, man. Georgia's winning football game. Look, when they make a special about you, it's because you used to be good and you're not anymore. When did Rudy come out? When did the movie Rudy come out? Did Rudy come out when Notre Dame was busy winning national titles? No! Rudy came out after Notre Dame was in the fucking shitter for 20 years. Then they put Rudy out. What would he fucking do? A flashback. Notre fucking Dame. Hey, guess what? If we go back to black and white TV and Notre Dame can figure out a way to play 6 service academies a year and the South resegregates, maybe Notre Dame can win national titles again. But short of that, nobody gives a fuck about Rudy, about the U, about Swamp Kings. No one cares. Nobody. Not a single fucking soul. 2nd and 10. Graham Mertz. Complete for a 2-yard loss. 3rd and 12. It seems like every pass Mertz is completing is either at or behind the line of scrimmage. It's alarming. Fuck Rudy. Missouri's end zones look like the Waffle House logo. Yeah. Where's the mustard bottle? We got rid of the mustard bottle last season. Agent C, thank you for the super chat. Surreal to me, it's already week 1. Go Tigers, but I'm hyped to see these Gators get smoked. He's an LSU fan. Yeah, big game on Sunday, LSU and Florida State. I picked LSU in that one, but I think it's going to be a good game. Flag down on the play this time. Looks like they're going to get Florida for holding, maybe. Thank you, Agent C, Greg Brown, and Joseph NR for the super chats. American Patriot, thank you for the super chat. He says Missouri's end zones. Oh, yeah, it looked like the Waffle House logo. Yeah, I've seen that before. The diamond shape deal, is that what they're doing? Anthony Rodney, thank you for the super chat. He says, Uncle Lou, is Sunbelt Billy still drowning or has he run out of oxygen? No, slow and painful death for our boy Sunbelt Billy.
You've been dribbling all down your leg. Florida fans, get on your knees and fucking beg. Now all you wanna do is just lose your games, Billy. All you wanna do is just lose your games, Billy.
Florida picked up a first down. 1st and 10 on the Utah 33. ETN with a carry. Off right end, picks up 6 or 7 on that one. 2nd and short coming up for Florida. Royce Grados, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate you helping to support the stream today. Good to see you in here. Whoa, Todd 99. What's up, buddy? He says Florida might be the worst team in the SEC. Oh, no. Is that true? Oh. You know, Florida's down bad, and like I said before, the only thing down worse than Florida are their fans. Graham Mertz running for his life. Has to throw it out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for Florida. Big Papa, thank you for the super chat. He says the Gators could go 2-10 if they don't pull out some upsets. After Charlotte, it's going to be rough for them. Yeah, you know, you're like the 3rd or 4th person that said that, 2-10. Maybe I need to reconsider. Maybe they will go 2-10. I don't know. I still think they find a way to get to 4 or 5 wins, but this performance is bad. There's no question about it. No question about it. DMT, thank you for the super chat. He says, I watched the tape, Lou. Florida doesn't have it. Yeah, I don't know that you need to watch the tape to figure that out about Florida. They look absolutely horrible. 3rd and 5 on the Utah 28. They're going to hand the ball off, has room. They're going to get Florida for holding again. A nice play by Montrell Johnson down inside the 20, but they're going to get Florida for holding again. They're going to bring that back, and instead of 3rd and 5, they're going to have 3rd and 15, it looks like. Oh, no. It's even worse than that. Illegal formation. Isn't that like the 4th illegal formation on Florida? How do you not even know where to line up? Illegal formation means you just don't know how to line up. This is coaching. This is coaching. How do you not know where to line up on a fucking running play? My God, man. Sunbelt Billy is an absolute disgrace. 3rd and 10 for Florida. Going the wrong fucking way again. A ball on the Utah 33 in that. Shotgun, Mertz back to throw. 4-man rush, gets rid of it, caught underneath. Ran into the referee. Referee credited with a tackle on the play. 4th down coming up for the Florida man. Referee gets the tackle. Lance and Jasper wouldn't even watch this game, says Leroy. Man, shout out to Lance and Jasper, man. I don't know whatever happened to him. I have no idea. No idea. Y'all got to tell me when the scoreboard messes up so I can fix it. I don't know why it keeps screwing up. Nebraska's up 10-3 now. 4th and 2 for the Florida man. Mertz throws. Tipped at the line. Did he catch it or did it hit the ground? They say he caught it. They're probably going to look at this again. Ricky Pearsall belly flopped to make the catch. Did it hit the ground? Boy. They're going to review it. That's close. I don't know. It's close. The ball definitely hit the ground. But did he have control before it hit the ground? It looked like the nose of the ball. I think that's going to be incomplete, but it's close. It could go either way. But they may overrule it. They may overturn this one. Brian Gentry says, love your page, Unc. I've been watching you for a while. Go Bucks. Say thanks, Brian. Good luck Saturday against Indiana, although I don't think you'll need it. Ohio State's like a 30-point favorite in that game. It's at Indiana, but I expect Ohio State to really blow them out. Don't think you'll need any luck in that one. Bramlett Dale, thank you for the super chat. He says, Uncle Lou just joined the live stream. Has Octavian carved his name on the rafter and kicked the chair out from under him yet? He came on at halftime. I sent him the StreamYard link, and he came on at halftime. And he wasn't too happy. He seemed a little depressed, honestly. He really didn't even seem mad, did he? For those of y'all that were here and listening when Octavian, the Florida fan, came on the show at halftime, he seemed depressed to me. It was like, not that his call was disappointing, but like I was expecting him to come on yelling and screaming and all that. And he really just seemed depressed more than anything else. You know, like his best pig just died or something. It was sad to see, honestly. Yeah, it was sad to see. Make It Happen says, dang, Lou, that's how you feel about Rudy? Lou said, fuck Rudy with a passion. Well, the thing about Rudy is it's just a fake movie. The whole thing about Rudy, the movie is just fake. I mean, he was clearly offsides. Rudy was offsides. They didn't call it. And you get this whole fucking folk tale, fairy tale, really, that gets told about the Rudy deal, and the whole thing is based on a lie. It's like The Blind Side. What's more fake, you think? The Blind Side, Rudy, or Forrest Gump? They're all about the same in terms of how real they are. Royce Grados, thank you again for the super chat. Number one fan of the U. Thank you for the super chat. Ref has more tackles than Florida's linebackers. Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy Jones, thank you for the super chat. The next documentary will be Alabama. Ha ha ha. Oh, you know there'll be a Saban documentary as soon as Alabama starts sucking again in the next couple of years. Patrick Newberry, thank you for the super chat. Could the Florida team beat Colorado? Oh, shit. I've been saying for a while it'd be a great game. Florida versus Colorado would be a great game. A great game. Way more competitive than this. Florida versus Colorado would be close. Play stands. Pass complete. First down, Florida. Michael Sprague, what's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. He says, I can tell you're really enjoying yourself now that the bigger games have started. Good to see. Thanks for the play-by-play and off-season streams. Yeah, thank y'all. Thank you for hanging out in the off-season. It makes it go by quick. Again, if there's anybody new in the stream that maybe just found the channel, I'm Uncle Lou. I do this year-round, college football content year-round on this channel. We do videos, live streams, call-in shows, all kinds of stuff year-round. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button if you are new here. My streaming schedule for week 1 is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I'll be streaming in prime time tonight, tomorrow night, Sunday night, and Monday night. Into the end zone. What a catch. Who the fuck is that? Douglas. Florida scores their first touchdown of the season. And that was an impressive looking catch by whoever the hell this Douglas character is. Caleb Douglas. That was a good looking catch. Nice throw by Graham Mertz. Goes up, high balls it, and comes down with it. Yeah, good play all the way around there for the Gators. Their first touchdown of the year. That's going to make it a 2-score game, 24-10 after the extra point. Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have a good time around here. The chat section is unbelievable. I've got the best comment section on all of YouTube when it comes to college football. This chat community is unbelievable. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do game streams every weekend during the season. Call-in show year-round every Tuesday and Thursday night at 9 p.m. 2-point conversion for Florida is good. So it's going to be 24-11 with 9:22 to go in the fourth quarter. We have a lot of fun around here, though, so make sure you subscribe if you're new. Turn on that notification bell so you know when I go live. And my streaming schedule for week 1 is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I'll be live primetime tonight, primetime tomorrow night, Friday, primetime Sunday night for LSU, Florida State, and primetime Monday for Clemson and Duke. On Saturday, I do my Patreon stream. That'll be at noon. So for everybody that's a member over on the Patreon page, you know the routine. Around 11:45 Saturday morning, I'll post the Patreon link on the Patreon page. Just go over there. You'll see it posted 11:45 Saturday morning. Click the link. It'll take you to the live stream, and we're going to watch TCU versus Colorado and Tennessee versus Virginia over on the Patreon page on Saturday. So if you're not signed up on the Patreon page and you want to check it out, the link is in the description of the video. Millennial Diamond, thank you for the super chat. He says, can Florida make a miracle comeback? Of course they can. Look, we've all been watching college football a long time. I've seen a lot of crazy shit in the world of college football. So, yeah. And let's be real. Utah's offense hadn't done shit in the second half. Nothing. The only touchdown they scored was because Florida turned the ball over in their own red zone. Basically gave Utah the touchdown. So, of course Florida could come back. Obviously it's not likely down 2 touchdowns with 9 minutes to go, but we've all seen weirder things than that, right? We'll see what Utah can do here with the ball. Now, if Utah goes 3 and out and Florida gets the ball right back, then, we might have to start paying a little bit closer attention to this thing. We'll see. Marie, good to see you in here, Marie. Thanks for the super chat. Florida should move and not tell Sunbelt Billy where they went. What, like the whole state? Just James Peach, thank you for the super chat. He says, the Stetson Mailman Disney movie will do numbers. I don't know if they're going to make that movie. I'm not sure they're going to make that movie. Tiny Tonto says, what's up, Lou? How you been, buddy? I've been good. Good to see you, Tiny Tonto. Good to see you in here. Good to see you in here. Any big upsets on your slate this week? Well, I picked Nebraska. Now, I don't know how big of an upset you think that is. Minnesota was favored by 7. I did pick Nebraska. What other underdogs did I pick this week? I'd have to go through the list of games and look. Let's see. Well, you know what? I like Georgia Tech tomorrow. They're an underdog against Louisville. Who else plays tomorrow? Miami and Miami of Ohio. I like the Hurricanes to cover there. Florida set to kick off. Saturday night, you got North Carolina and South Carolina. North Carolina's favored by 2.5. I like North Carolina to win that one. Sunday night, LSU and Florida State. I like LSU in that one. Duke. I like Duke in the points on Monday. Duke versus Clemson. Duke's getting about 14. I like Duke plus 14. I don't know if they'll win the game, but I like Duke plus 14 against Clemson. They're an underdog. Agent C, thank you for the super chat. He says, can we pause the game to watch Aaron Judge hit? No. Y'all remember that last year? They kept cutting out all the college football games on Saturday every time Aaron Judge came to bat for the Yankees. Boy, I tell you what, I don't give a shit about baseball in general, but there's nothing more worthless than regular season baseball. And you're going to cut into college football games to make me watch some New York Yankees man try to hit a home run? Big play on the ground from Utah here on 1st and 10 up across the 40, steps out of bounds at the 44. Looked like a trap play. Big play, big run. Nice play for Utah there. Picks up a first down. 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Let's see. I feel like I'm behind here. Chance-tastic, thank you for the super chat. He says, can't wait to see your reaction to the Colorado game. Can't wait for the famous I told you so to the Colorado fans. Can't wait for the Patreon stream. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun on Saturday. There's a ton of people in here right now, at least for me. It's almost 1,600 people. On the Patreon streams, of course, there's not nearly that amount of people. There's usually, around 100 or 200 people. So I'm able to read every single comment, respond to every single comment, and we don't do super chats on the Patreon stream, obviously. There are no, turn all that off. I just read the regular comments section. But the Patreon stream's a lot of fun because it's more like just a group of people all sitting around watching the game, right? We're just not in the same room. I'm here, they're wherever they are, but it's a much smaller crowd. It's easier to interact with all of y'all. The Patreon streams are a lot of fun. I have a good time with those. Yeah, I'll see you in there Saturday, Chance. Second and 4. Another nice play on the ground for Utah. Utah keeping it on the ground, trying to chew up clock into Florida territory now. 7:45 to go in the fourth quarter, and the clock is ticking. Utah 24, Florida 11. Nebraska still up 10-3 over Minnesota. Minnesota does have the ball. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter of that one. Patrick Newberry, thank you for the super chat. He says, Saturday down south said Sunbelt Billy might get left at the airport. Wow. I don't see that happening in year 2 for Sunbelt Billy, although it would be hilarious. I still think Sunbelt Billy makes it through the season this year, this being only his second season, and gets fired at the end of next season. 1st and 10 for Utah, right up the gut, gains a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up for Utah. Clock under 7 minutes to go now. Trucking with Jeter. What's up, buddy? Good to see you in here. He says, I hate the new rule with keeping the clock running even after catching the ball going out of bounds. I swear everything is going to shit in NCAA football. A loss of a yard that time on a little tight end screen. It's going to be 3rd and long for Utah now. Bramlett Dale, thank you for the super chat. Florida going to fire Sunbelt Billy at the airport. That seems to be a common theme. Look, maybe y'all are right. Who knows? It's happened before. Y'all remember Lane Kiffin got fired at the airport when he was head coach out at Southern Cal, so it's not like it's never happened before. I just don't think it's going to happen in game 1, year number 2 for Sunbelt Billy. Slap Happy says, hey you. Incomplete pass on 3rd down, but there is a flag down. Is this going to be some kind of holding on Utah, maybe? Yeah, Florida's going to decline it. And Utah's probably going to have to punt it away here with 6:06 to go in the fourth quarter. So, no points for Utah. They did shave 3 or 4 minutes off the clock. 4th and 9, they're going to be punting it back to Florida. Florida's down 13. Jordan Sherrill, thank you for the super chat. He says, you called it. They're going to use the elevation as an excuse. They're using oxygen cans on the sidelines. LMAO. Fourth and 9. Oh, field goal attempt. It's going to be a long field goal attempt here for Utah. It's going to be a 55-yarder. Kick is up. Wow. He missed it, I think. Did he miss it or make it? I thought he missed it. Yeah, he missed it. It was close. It was close, but he missed it. Let's see, did it hit off the bottom upright or something? What happened here? Oh, yeah, hooked it. Just left of the upright. No good. 24-11. Florida gets the ball back. James Peach, thank you for the super chat. He says, Holly Road doing whippets on the sideline. Man, stop it. Holly Road doing whippets on the sideline. You're sick, man. You're sick. Kirby Dumb, thank you for the super chat. Florida will finish 6-6, maybe 7-5. No. No. Florida's not winning 7 games, buddy. I don't know what you're watching. You must be the one doing the whippets. Florida's not winning 7 games. Number 1 fan of the youth, thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on the rule changes this year, specifically clock stoppage? I don't have a problem with it. I'm all for speeding the games up. These games lasting 4 hours are ridiculous. So I don't have a problem. I mean, the last 2 minutes of the first half and the last 2 minutes of the second half are the same old clock rules they've always been, where the clock stops all the time. So, no, I don't have any issue with it at all. Tennessee boy, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, you probably made 300 plus on this stream tonight. I don't know. Maybe. Thank you, Tennessee boy. Knoxville Predator catcher. Knoxville Predator catcher. Well, you stay busy, don't you? Oh, well, your work is never done, is it? My God. Knoxville's crawling with predators, ain't it? Knoxville Predator catcher. Thank you for the super chat. He says Jordan is going to take his logo off the uniforms tomorrow. Jordan says he can't be associated with anything this bad, huh? Thank you for the super chat, Knoxville. Brock Tony, thank you for the super chat. He says Utah might blow this like Dan Mullen's wife blew the Florida players. Wow. Wow. All right, under 6 minutes to go. Let's see. If Florida scores here, then it's going to get interesting. So under 6 minutes to go, 5:52. Florida completes a pass on first down, good for a first down, and steps out of bounds to stop the clock. Clock starts running as soon as the ball is ready for play, which is right now. Snap. Graham Mertz sends a man in motion. Play action pass, back to throw, over the middle. Is it caught? I believe he caught it. Yeah, that's that Douglas again. Where'd he come from? I don't know where he came from, but he wants to play football, coach. That's the same one that caught that touchdown pass a minute ago. Another good catch by him there. Picks up a first down. Florida inside the Utah 40 on the 39. They trail by 13, coming up on 5 minutes to go. Mertz in the shotgun. Snap, back to throw. Pump fakes. Throws complete underneath to the running back. He's hit right away. Gained 3 yards. 2nd and 7 coming up for Florida now. Kirby Dome says Caleb Douglas only Florida bright spot. I would agree with that. He's looked good the last 2 series that Florida's had the ball. I'm not now. Is there any Florida fans that have the balls to still be in here? Is he a true freshman, or is he just somebody I've never heard of before? Is he a transfer? I don't know that name, Caleb Douglas. Mertz back to throw on 2nd and 7. Under pressure, dancing around, gets rid of it out in the flat to number 3, Wilson. Whoa, look at the speed on this clown. He just humiliated a Utah defensive back, ran right around him. There is a flag down on the play. Holding on Florida. It's going to come back. Damn. He's a sophomore? Oh, okay. I just don't remember seeing him last year. I don't remember seeing him last year for Florida. Maybe he didn't play last year. I don't know. Maybe he redshirted. Maybe he buried on the depth chart. I don't know. I just don't recognize that name. Man, they got Florida for holding. Would have been a big play. That number 3 put a move on somebody for Utah and was gone down the sideline. All for nothing, though. They catch Florida for holding again. Utah going to let Florida score 18-24 final, and I gave the 7 points. 2nd and 17. Mertz by himself in a shotgun. Back to throw. 4-man rush. Gets rid of it. Caught on the sideline. Picks up about 8, I think. Should be 3rd and about 9 coming up for Florida. 4:02 to go. Junkyard Dog says, no, it won't happen, but if UF doesn't need to stop with firing Napier, fire the soda vendor outside the swamp in Gainesville, and this is a away game. 3rd and 9, big play for Florida here. Well, it's 2 down territory. They're obviously going to go for it if they don't get the first down here, but 3rd and 9 for Florida on the Utah 38. Mertz, back to throw. Looks, fires over the middle. Caught by Pearsall. Tackled right away, 2 or 3 yards short of the first down. So, biggest play of the game upcoming here for Florida. 4th and 3. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Clock ticking. They're down 13. They need 2 touchdowns to win the game. They're down 13. They would need to score, get an onside kick, score again. 3:07, 3:06, 3:05. Clock running. 4th and 3. 4 wide receivers. ETN in the backfield with Mertz in a shotgun. 4th and 3. Back to throw. Looks. Gets rid of it. Did he catch that? He was bobbling it, but I think he held on. That's Caleb Douglas again. He was bobbling it a little, but it never hit the ground. That's complete. Replay. Yeah, he juggled it a little, but I don't think it hit the ground. First down, Florida. Big pickup there on 4th and 3. 1st and 10 now for the Gators. Ball on the 26 of Utah. Mertz shotgun. Snap, back to throw. Looks. Nowhere to go. Takes off up the middle. Hit right away. Falls forward for 2 yards. 2nd and 8 coming up for the Gators. Moniker1, thank you for the super chat. He says, the real USC, Southern Cal fan here. USC faded a decent Mountain West offense in week 0. USC defense will be okay versus Utah. Week 0 was a bunch of player rotations. Yeah, nobody believes that. Nobody believes that. Graham Mertz back to throw. Hit as he throws. Wow, had Ricky Pearsall open on a deep post, but Mertz was hit as he threw the ball, and it sailed on him over the hands of what would have been a touchdown to Ricky Pearsall. The thing is, Moniker1, if we hadn't seen Lincoln Riley's defense be absolutely fucking terrible for 7 years in a row, then it would be a lot easier to believe that what we saw week 1 against San Jose State wasn't the real Southern Cal defense, but it was the same Lincoln Riley defense we've seen every single year for 7 years in a row. The reality is Lincoln Riley's defense is just fucking garbage. Graham Mertz sacked on 3rd and 8. Wow. Graham Mertz is going to need a hot tub in the plane on the ride home. I don't know if that's a thing, but Graham Mertz has taken an absolute beating tonight. And as bad of a quarterback as I think Graham Mertz is, he's tough as hell because he has taken an absolute beating tonight. He just keeps getting back up. But he is just getting destroyed almost every single time he drops back to throw. That time Utah gets home for the sack. But yeah, the thing is, Lincoln Riley just doesn't care about defense. He hasn't cared about defense. Every single Lincoln Riley team has been the exact same. One of the best offenses in college football every single year with a Heisman caliber QB, an offense that scores between 40 and 50 points a game, and a defense that loses them multiple games a year when it counts the most. And that will be the case again this year for Southern Cal. Now, they still might make the playoffs because Lincoln Riley's offense is good enough to make the playoffs. But if they make the playoffs, they're losing to whoever they play in the first round. And I'm not convinced, though. And I picked Southern Cal to make the playoffs. That's how stupid I am. I picked Southern Cal to make the playoffs. I fell for it. I said, well, they got all these transfers. They've got NFL talent at all 3 levels of the defense. Nope. Same shit. Players out of position. Players tired. Players lazy. Players not running to the ball. Players missing tackles. Poor fundamentals. Bad coverage. Receivers running wide open 10 yards downfield for the other team constantly. It's just the same fucking Lincoln Riley defense I've seen year after year after year after year after year. So congratulations. Southern Cal will have another good year with double-digit wins, but it's not going to result in a national title as long as Lincoln Riley is your head coach because he doesn't care about defense. Bean Supreme, thank you for the super chat. He says, Lou, I was thinking about it, and besides Trask, Florida hasn't had a good QB since Tebow, really. That's basically true. Yeah, that's basically true. Carson Beasley, thank you for the super chat. Graham Mertz or a graham cracker? Let us know. Well, Graham Mertz is tougher than a graham cracker, for sure. I mean, if you even look at a graham cracker, it'll crack in half. Graham Mertz is taking an absolute beating, and he keeps getting back up. So, there's not a whole lot to point to Graham Mertz to say, like, hey, you did this good or that good. But toughness scale through the roof. Unfortunately, he's just a terrible quarterback. Which, like I said, most people already knew that. Anybody that's been watching college football for the last 2 years already knew Graham Mertz wasn't any good. And he's a statue and can't move. And that's just a terrible combination. It's one thing to have a pocket passer and a good offensive line. If you're going to have a pocket passer, you better be able to protect him. And Florida's offensive line is absolute garbage. Again, which they should have known. They lost almost their entire offensive line from last year, which was a strength of their team last year. And this offensive line is horrible. And Graham Mertz is just a sitting duck. I mean, the guy can't move from here to there. You know? He's got cinder blocks for feet. And that's not his fault. That's just who he is as a human being. He's just not an athletic, mobile QB that can move around. And when you can't move around and you have a terrible offensive line, this is what happens. You just get the shit kicked out of you for 4 quarters. 4th and 14 for Florida on the Utah 30. Played a game here. Batted down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. I don't understand the play call to start with. It was a hitch pass. I don't understand. 4th and 14, game on the line, and you call a hitch pass. That would have been a nothing burger, even if it would have been a completed pass. Well, I don't understand this play call. Not a single wide receiver ran a route more than 3 yards downfield. That was a wide receiver screen on 4th and 14. I don't understand. Billy Napier doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Which, again, look, there's a long list of things that people already knew. Lincoln Riley's defense ain't worth a shit, and Southern Cal has a ceiling, and they ain't going above it. People have known that, and it's true this year. Graham Mertz is a terrible quarterback. People have known that, and it's not changing this year. And Billy Napier doesn't know what he's doing. That's just facts. Octavian's on life support, says Bramley. He'll call in on Tuesday. I'm sure he will. The call-in show on Tuesday will be amazing. I'm sure he'll call in. My Linda Gardner, thank you for the sticker. I think it's a trophy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out on the stream today. Like I said, ACC better than the SEC and Big Ten this year? That's the dumbest... Sir. What? You need to stop embarrassing yourself. Who said that? Peninsula P?
5-star dummy.
The ACC is better than the SEC and the Big Ten? Holy moly. That's dumb as fuck, buddy. Sorry, but that's dumb as fuck. Minute 39 to go. Utah is just going to take a knee, and this thing's going to be over. They might have to take a knee 2 or 3 times, and that's going to be it. Knight Cameron, thank you for the super chat. He says, Octavian, what happened? Peyton Thorne better than Mertz. We'll see. I'm not very high on Peyton Thorne either. Now, we do know that Hugh Freeze is a better coach than Billy Napier, though. So Auburn may be better than Florida. In fact, I'm sure they will. But I'm not convinced Peyton Thorne's all that great of a QB either. Did Utah look good or did Florida look terrible? A little bit of both. I wasn't all that impressed with Utah offensively, to be honest with you. Defensively, they played well, but Florida's offense is garbage. So it's hard to tell a lot in week 1 games because you haven't seen either team play anybody else. But Florida offensively is clearly a mess. Clearly just an absolute mess offensively. There's no question about that. Greatest ever, thank you for the super chat. He says, I love watching Florida fail, but I'm not going to lie, Lou, this Nebraska game is way more entertaining. Yeah, we'll stay on and do the end of the Nebraska game, but Nebraska's still up 10-3. 2:43 to go in the 4th quarter. 7-point game. 10-3 Nebraska on top. Minnesota was a 7-point favorite. I took Nebraska into 7 points, so I'm feeling good on this one. I took Utah into points too. Didn't I? I'll have to go back and watch that Florida-Utah video. Didn't I take Utah, though? I think I took Utah and laid the points. The ACC is better than the SEC, and the Big Ten is a slimy hot boy take War Eagle, Lou? What? I can't really make heads or tails of that other than to say in no universe is the ACC better than either the Big Ten or the SEC. I mean, hell, last year the ACC was the worst conference in the country. It might not be the worst conference this year. We don't know that yet, but there's in no universe is the ACC going to be better than the SEC or the Big Ten this year. That's just absolutely. I can't even believe somebody typed that. They have to be trolling. They have to be trolling. Can we get a 5-star comment button? I tell you what, I'll try to add one before tomorrow night's stream. Before everybody runs off, the end of the Nebraska-Minnesota game is what we're doing now. 3 minutes to go in that one. 10-3, Nebraska on top. Before everybody runs off, though, I'll be back tomorrow night for the primetime games tomorrow. Not as big as today's games, but some interesting ones. Miami Hurricanes play tomorrow. Georgia Tech versus Louisville tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow to do this again. So come hang out with us tomorrow again tomorrow night to watch these games. But I don't understand it. That guy's got to be trolling about the ACC. He absolutely has to be. Absolutely has to be. But I'll see if I can't get a 5-star comment button before we do the stream tomorrow night. That's not a bad idea. All right, Gump fan. All right, here we go. Minnesota with the ball. Down 7 in the red zone. 4th and 10 from the 14-yard line. Play of the game here. Game on the line. 4th and 10. Back to throw. Into the end zone. Wide open. He caught it. Did he get a foot down? Touchdown. Wow. Did you see him drag the foot too? Wow. If this stands, we're going to have a tie game with 2 minutes to go. Wow. Watch the guy drag his foot. He definitely caught the ball. Oh my God, he did get his foot down. That's a touchdown. Unbelievable body control. Look at his left foot. It touches before his right foot too. Look, there it is. Wow, that's a touchdown. Unbelievable effort and catch. Wow. Ten to 9, an extra point will tie it up. 2.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Nebraska and Minnesota, unreal. Wow. Minnesota goes 58 minutes without a touchdown, scores with 2 minutes to go to tie it up. Unreal. Unreal. Bramlett, thank you for the super chat. He says, thank you, Uncle Lou, for your hard work and great insights and your comic relief. Thank you, Bramlett, for hanging out on the stream tonight, buddy. I appreciate it. Hudson Dean, thank you for the super chat. He says, I still think Florida gives Tennessee a game in the swamp. As a Tennessee fan, Florida always scares me. Not me, Hudson. I think Tennessee beats Florida by 30. Been saying it since February. I'm definitely not going to change my mind after this Florida performance I just saw. Bubba Tweet, thank you for the super chat. He says, how has your night been and what do you think about the Nebraska game so far, Uncle Lou? Well, let's be real. It's been a boring game. I mean, this is the second touchdown of the game just got scored and there's 2 minutes to go. It's a close game at the end, so it's going to get exciting here at the end, but it's been a pretty boring game. 10-3 until 10 seconds ago. Extra point. Did he miss that? Oh, he barely made it. Wow, he snuck that thing in the upper. He almost missed the extra point. He makes it, though, tied up 10 apiece, 2:32 to go. Florida needs me at wide receiver, says Cameron Holloway. They might have found somebody in that Cameron Douglas there at the end. I mean, Ricky Pearsall is good, but, yeah, he was the only real thing Florida had. Now, there in the fourth quarter, that Cameron Douglas made a couple of big catches, so I'll be curious to see if they start to incorporate him more into their offensive plan going forward. Austin Rogers, thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida fires Billy tonight at the airport. I cannot believe the number of people who are saying that. Now, I know some of you who are saying it don't actually mean it. Like, you don't really think that's going to happen. But I'm just surprised that I don't even see every comment, but I've seen at least 10 people say that. So that means probably 100 people said it. I only saw 10 of them, but that surprises me. But I don't think that's going to happen, obviously. Grayson, thank you for the super chat. He says, even after this game, I still think Mertz equals Heisman. If you think Mertz equals Heisman after watching this game, it's one thing to be delusional before the season starts. If you watch this game and you still think Mertz has a chance to win a Heisman, you need to check yourself into the nervous hospital. I'm talking straight jacket and padded room, buddy, because you got some serious issues if you watch that game and think Mertz is getting anywhere close to a Heisman. Louis Tart, thank you for the super chat. He says, Billy Napier skipped class when they were teaching 2-minute offense. Milton will have more yards passing in the first quarter than Mertz will have in 2 weeks. I mean, Mertz probably had a lot of yards because they were racking it up in the second half with those hitch passes and screen passes and swing passes to the running back. He probably ended up with a lot of yards. His completion percentage probably isn't very high, but he probably ended up with a lot of yards. And what did he have? 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But it's his lack of mobility. I mean, how many times did he get sacked? How many times was he running for his life? I don't even... He could have had 300 yards for all I know, and he probably did. He's at least close to that. There's not a soul that watched that game and walked away thinking Graham Mertz is a good quarterback. Not a soul. Not a soul. And if they did, they don't know they don't know anything about the game of football. Anything at all. Cameron says, I started at wide receiver in one state in single A against Slay County this year at Bowden High School. UF needs winners, although I prefer Auburn. You're like the Al Bundy of the comments section. Billy Napier skipped class. Oh, yeah, we read that one there. Yeah, thank you for the super chat, Cameron. All right, 2nd and 9. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Nebraska and Minnesota all tied up at 10 apiece. Minnesota finally scored its first touchdown with about 2.5 minutes to go in the game to tie things up at 10 apiece. Nebraska gets the ball following the kickoff. 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Running around. Quarterback takes off. Has some room across the 30. Out of bounds right at the 35. Close to a first down. 1:52 to go. Clock stops. Clock stops because he's out of bounds. Gators honor Tebow by giving their worst player 15. Yeah, I still can't believe they gave Graham Mertz the number 15. Thank you, James, for the super chat. First and 10 for Nebraska. Jeff Sims back to throw over the middle. A rocket complete up to midfield. 1:45. 1:45 to go. First down, Nebraska. A field goal will give them the lead. All tied, 10 apiece. 1:40 and the clock's ticking. Play blown dead before it started. What are they going to do here? Oh, he got a player down. Injured player for Minnesota. Looks like a cramp. Looks like a cramp for the Minnesota player. So they stopped the play there. Went ahead and stopped the play there. Florida is a mess, Lou. Both sides of the trenches look confused like they never even practiced. Yeah, there was that. There was a bunch of special teams mistakes. As bad as Florida looked as a team, there was a lot of things in that game that were coaching errors. A lot of coaching errors in that game for Florida. Mertz made some solid throws despite a Swiss cheese line and shit play calling, says number one fan of the U. Thank you for the super chat. Sean Michael, thank you for the super chat. As a Kane fan, I will be pissed if Billy does not get a contract extension. A first down run for Nebraska picks up 4. 2nd and 6, 1:20 and the clock is ticking. Trying to get into field goal range here. Nebraska and Minnesota each have one timeout remaining. All tied 10 apiece in the fourth quarter. 1:10 to go and the clock's ticking. Shotgun for Jeff Sims in Nebraska. 2nd and 6, back to throw. Over the middle. Intercepted! Intercepted! Across the 45, tackled just short of the 50. Wow, what a terrible decision there by Jeff Sims. Safety jumped the route, intercepted the ball on a seam route right down the hash. Wow. You can take the man out of Georgia Tech, but you can't take the Georgia Tech out of the man. Jeff Sims with an interception at the worst possible time. The transfer quarterback for Nebraska came from Georgia Tech. Look, safety playing center field, jumps the route, interception, and now Minnesota's going to have the ball right around midfield. On their own 49, 58 seconds to go. Minnesota's got one timeout. Back to throw. Complete. Breaks a tackle and then steps out of bounds, gains 8. 2nd and 2. They need about 15 to 20 yards for a field goal attempt. Probably going to try to save this timeout in case they have to run the field goal unit out there at the end. 54 seconds to go. 2nd and 1. On the Nebraska 42-yard line. 4 wide. Shotgun. Snap, back to throw. Looks, same play. Gets out of bounds after picking up the first down. Needed 1, gained 4. Moves the chains. 1st and 10, Minnesota. 50 seconds to go. Minnesota still with the one timeout. A field goal will win it. A field goal will win it. 1st and 10 on the Nebraska 37. Shotgun. Snap, back to throw, looks, same play again. Complete again, picks up about 5 or 6 yards. 3 plays, 3 out routes to the left sideline, 3 completions, 2 first downs. 2nd and 5 coming up now. Hold my beer. Thank you for the super chat. He says, Florida's defensive coordinator looks like Cartman. Damn, is that true? Is that true? Gerald Armstrong says, shame the coldest transferred. Could have heard Gus Johnson call his name. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for the super chats. All right, 46 seconds to go. 2nd and 5. Minnesota in a shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Back to throw. Under pressure. Steps up. Takes off. Sacked. Goes down. He's going to lose about 4 yards. I don't know if they're going to have to take their last time out here or what. It's going to be 3rd and 8. No, they're not. They're going to save the timeout in case they need to run the field goal unit out there. 3rd and 8. Minnesota hurries back to the line. 4 wide. Shotgun. Snap. False start on Minnesota. Wow. Nobody wants to win this game. Nobody wants to win. I mean, Nebraska gets the ball. They're moving down the field to kick a winning field goal. Jeff Sims, the Georgia Tech man, comes out, throws an interception for no reason, basically handing the game to Minnesota. Minnesota comes back out here, catches a sack. 3rd and 8, false start. Now it's 3rd and 13. No longer in field goal range, too. I mean, what are you doing? You got to get into field goal range, man. 5 yards is a big deal. You're supposed to be going that way, not that way. Back to throw. No, they hand it off. A draw play. Wow, needed 13, picked up 12. Can they kick a field goal from here? They're around the 30-yard line. 6-5. 5 seconds to go. They call timeout. So going to be a long field goal here to try to win it. Gutsy play there. Gutsy play. 3rd and 13. They ran a draw. Picked up about 12 yards. Now there's 5 seconds to go. Minnesota uses its last timeout. They're going to trot the field goal unit out on the field and try to win this game. I bet Nebraska wish they could have Eric Gilbert, says Sir Duke. Yeah, that was a big loss for them because let's be real, Nebraska doesn't have it's not like Nebraska's swimming in 5-star players, so that was a big loss for them. That was a big loss for them. He looks like Cartman and his name is Herbie Dart, says Brant. What? Talking about the defensive coordinator for Florida, I guess, huh? All right, 3 seconds to go. 4th and 2. all tied, 10 apiece, and Minnesota's lined up for a game-winning field goal. Where's my bettors at? Bettors are feeling good if you took Minnesota. I had Minnesota plus, I had Nebraska. If you had Nebraska, you're feeling good right now. In fact, Minnesota can go ahead and make this kick. I've got Nebraska plus 7. So I'd rather they make this kick than it go to overtime and somebody potentially win by 7. Uncle Lou, Arizona State is not having a good time right now. Are they losing 14-7 to Southern Utah? Well, Arizona State might be the worst team in the Pac-12 this year. Them or Stanford. Arizona State's going to be pretty bad. Arizona State's going to be pretty bad. Look at Central Florida all over Kent State. Kent State's entire team and coaching staff from last year got raided. Every good player they had transferred out. Their head coach is now the offensive coordinator at Colorado. I've never seen a team get raided like Kent State did. There was like a line of Power 5 teams outside the Kent State athletic office when the season ended, just handing out transfers to whoever wanted one. Here comes the field goal, 47-yard attempt from the left hash to win the game. Snap, hold, kick, right down the middle. Game over. The heartbreak continues for Nebraska. They cannot catch a break. 13-10, Minnesota hangs on, or comes back to win. Actually, Nebraska was up 10-3. Minnesota didn't score a touchdown until 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Tied it up at 10. Nebraska gets the ball back, tied at 10 apiece. A field goal win it. They get to midfield. Looks like they're driving for a game-winning field goal. What happens? Jeff Sims throws an interception. Minnesota gets the ball with a minute to go. Picks up 25 yards, comes out, kicks a field goal, wins the game. Congratulations if you had Nebraska plus 7 like Uncle Lou did. Cha-ching! That's a winner for Uncle Lou, Nebraska plus 7. I'll take it. I'll take it. Cowpoke Ranch, what's up, buddy? He says, as a football fan, all jokes aside, it's a damn shame to see how Florida has fallen. Just a damn shame. It really is. Florida is in really bad shape. Really bad shape for this year and next year. There's not really anything Florida can do to better themselves until 2025. They're going to have a horrific season this year and next year. Austin says, hindsight is 2020. We should have kept Dan and got a new coordinator for defense. This Billy shit is getting annoying already. I can't take a full year. Well, you're going to have to take 2 more years, this year and next year. But yeah, Sunbelt Billy is not the long-term answer. He will be fired next year. He will be fired next year. All right, congratulations to Nebraska fans and Utah fans. 1-0 on the season. Florida and Nebraska. Pitiful. 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 I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate y'all hanging out tonight. I had a great time. Please subscribe to the channel if for some reason you're new around here and you're not subscribed. I do this year-round, college football year-round on this channel. Video uploads, game streams, live streams, call-in shows, pre-game shows, all kinds of stuff. We do it all here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. The streaming schedule for next week has been scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but I'll be back live tomorrow night, Friday night for the Friday night primetime games. Then I'll be live Sunday night for LSU versus Florida State and Monday night for Clemson versus Duke. My Saturday stream will be on Patreon at noon. The link to the Patreon page is in the description of this video. All right, I had a great time. I hope you did too. Week 1 off to an interesting start. We got 4 more days of games. All right, everybody. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good morning.